our stereo is essentially double mono.
Yeah, double mono.
You've got double mono. Can you get double mono?
Double mono?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you
can
can.
get double pneumonia.
Yeah, you can get double pneumonia. Yeah, you can. I've had. What's the worst sickness you've ever gotten?
The worst sickness I've ever
Where
gotten?
you're just like you're like, okay, you know what? You need to stay in bed for like 3 days, or like 3 weeks or something like that.
Oh man. Never that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in bed for like 3 or 4 weeks. I don't recall the last time I had anything more. Honest to God, like it's not like I'm bulletproof. I like to joke that I'm invincible, but motorcycle accidents, and dog bites have proven that I am invincible.
Yeah, I think the sickest I've ever been was last January.
You were pretty sick earlier this year.
Yeah,
you were all fucked up.
Yeah, I was fucked up for 3 weeks.
God, that's rough, man.
Yeah, after my grandfather passed away, I was out of it for. Yeah, I was in bed for 3 weeks. You guys,
that's when you guys all thought you got COVID.
Yeah,
like the whole gang that was at the funeral. Like everybody, like one after another.
I know. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was out. My cousin was out. My brother was out.
Man.
But it was. Yeah, it was. I couldn't believe how. I don't know how the hell I survived 3 weeks. Yeah, that's a long time to just be sick.
Like day after day after day.
Yeah, and
you're never feeling better.
Yeah, you're not like you feel like you're like, okay, you know what, at least I should go outside and do just get some fresh air. But you couldn't even do that. You're like, okay, my body is completely shut down. That's not the sickest I've ever been. It's the longest
It's the longest you've been sick.
Longest I've been sick. Yeah.
When I was a kid, one time I had something in in my throat where I couldn't swallow. Mm-hmm. Nah, that's what she said. I had something going on in there where like I seized up. Like all around my collarbone, like everything was all something. And that was the last time I remember being like really sick.
Yeah, I've had that before too.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was. Even the doctor was like, "This is something. Here's some antibiotics." Like that was back when they would give you antibiotics for like sneezing.
Yeah,
they'd give you something.
Yeah,
and that was like the worst I ever had.
Yeah, I had that when I was I had the my throat seized. I think I had the flu, and I had conjunctivitis as well.
Oh no!
All
so
in one
it was
sitting.
in your entire head.
Yeah, I was so when I woke up, I couldn't open my eyes because they were sealed shut.
Oh, if people don't know, that's conjunctivitis.
That's conjunctivitis.
It's not pink eye. It's pink eye plus like an extra screw you.
Yeah, so like this, you can't open your eyes because your body's telling your eyes that just secrete all this stuff to get it out.
Yeah.
To get all the bacteria out.
Oh.
And I was like, I sat there and I couldn't breathe. My mouth was open like that, and then I woke up and I couldn't open my eyes, and then. Yeah, my brother just walked in and he's like, he goes, "Oh great, he's dead." Yeah.
Oh great, great. What was the line from The Simpsons when like somebody walks in? It's the same kind of thing. It's like, "The cat's dead. I'll be out." It's just like it's one thing leads to another. Like that's what that is.
Yeah,
I'll be at Moe's.
Yeah, I hate getting. I got the flu shot this year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got inoculated this year.
Oh wow. I mean, that's probably for the best. Everybody else.
The thing is, I've never gotten it before.
Neither have I.
I thought they was an anti-vaccinated.
Nope.
I just like it never crossed my mind. I was
it never occurred to me to do it either. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got it this year. Yeah, but it hurts after like 4 days. Like I can still feel it. It's still sensitive here.
It does.
Yeah, it lingers.
It's a hearty, it's a hearty concoction they put in there. I've gotten a few. I've gotten the what's it called? The Twin Ricks a couple times
for traveling, right?
For traveling and stuff. Yeah. I can't remember, was it malaria or something else? I got a couple shots when I was traveling and stuff. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's like they get the meat and they're like, let's just move that around a little bit and just get rid of it.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I know. It was just it just hurt my arms. If I slept on my side, I would just the next morning my arm would just be in so much pain.
It'd be a real bummer.
Yeah. But bummer. It's Joey Moss.
Oh, we're going there, huh?
Well,
today. It's right now.
Today.
It was. So if people don't know, it's October 26th.
6th, yeah.
And Joey Moss passed away at the age of 57.
57.
And it is like the biggest bummer, I think, like in forever. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've been this like wrecked by somebody I don't know passing away ever.
Yeah, Joey Moss was Edmonton. Like even when we were growing up, he was
he's an icon, man.
He was the linkage between us and the Oilers. Like
yeah, he was the everyman.
Yeah,
it's like you could if you're a good kid, you could do that.
Yeah,
like never his disability never came. Oh, you would get into like fist fights in school if somebody made fun of him. Mm-hmm. He was like that kind of a character where you're like that's our guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like he was. Yeah, he's a part of Edmonton's
Well, I mean, he is most. What's that?
He's an Edmonton legend.
He's a legend.
He will always be one.
He's the most important sports figure in this city that never actually professionally played a sport.
Yeah, that's that. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, outside of everybody. I mean, I don't care if you're talking about like Brian Hall or any of these announcers or whoever they are.
Oh no, yeah,
or anybody.
Yeah.
He's the most important sports figure who didn't play professional sports.
Yeah, and loyal, like just the most loyal, like Edmonton, Edmonton Oiler fan.
Just
ever.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just absolutely ridiculous how like important that guy is to Edmonton sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, but you're right. It's like it's an everyman story. It's like he's just a guy who's just a hardworking kid,
mm-hmm.
and Wayne Gretzky just happens to be dating his sister.
Mm-hmm.
You're like that's the kind of story they make movies about.
Yep.
That's like a Rudy story.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
no, I can totally do this.
Yeah.
And not only does he do it, it's like at first I remember I was reading something about how Gretzky's like, I'll pay for him, and like, no, you don't have to because we're paying him because he's good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's keeping the place together.
Yeah.
More so than somebody else who was just going to come in here half-assed. We're going to pay him what we pay him because he's good at his job.
Exactly, and he loved what he did. Like he was like
ultra passionate.
Orders until today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and now I mean like I think it's kind of safe to say like the Oilers actually have somebody up there looking out for him now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean that's like a weird thing to say, but like, we actually have like a patron saint of the
patron saint,
like a patron angel of the Oilers.
Mm-hmm.
It was a real downer, man. Like I mean, you had a pretty down week when Kobe passed. Like it was a big deal for you because you're a huge Kobe guy, huge basketball fan.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like Edmonton as a city, this is maybe the first time we've had this as a city where this level of like an Edmonton icon passes away in our generation, in our time.
Yeah, it's because we all grew up with him. Kind of wanting to be in a situation. We're kind of like not jealous, but at the same time, I was like, man, like that guy has he has such a like he works directly with the Edmonton Oilers. Like
100%.
He's loved by those guys, and and it's.
But you were right. He was a representation of the fan base.
Yeah, exactly, and it's such a great story because he had his hand, like he was never defined by his handicap.
Yeah, that was like it wasn't even secondary.
No, it just brought everyone closer to him. Like it's and like it was never it was never it wasn't even like something you talk about. Just
no,
like,
I mean, if anything, you'd be like, if that guy can do it, then you should be able to do it. Like that wasn't an issue. It was like, no, he's really good at what he does all around. Like that's a professional, like adult. That's a professional working man.
Yeah,
like a human working male. Like he was just like it wasn't one of those things where your parents would be like, well, if that guy can do it, then you should be able to get off your ass and do it too. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah,
here.
his handicap, his handicap, it never defined him.
Never defined him.
No, never.
No, it wasn't really a thing. Like maybe it endeared people to him in a certain way.
Yeah,
like
you could say, that's I would say that for sure.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you see like when you see him singing the national anthem.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe like it was one of those deals. But like I said, in school when somebody would bring it up because it was a thing when we were kids. People would always make fun of Joey Moss. Some asshole would eventually do it.
Well, he kind of brought that the whole idea of like when people have to live with disease. He kind of like he was the one who kind of like kind of brought it to the forefront. Where like people are like, wow, like he has he has this cognitive disability, but we would it's not something that anyone made like certain people made fun of it in my
the
school.
The assholes would, right? But you would.
No,
you'd smack him in the mouth.
Oh yeah, you'd lay those people out.
But it is one of those things too where it like that's a credit to like his ability, or even just I mean maybe the way he was raised or whatever it was, but it wasn't an issue. Like it was never an issue. This is a guy who is a great role. I mean, a great spokesperson for people with disability living and working in the real world, and just like out there in like real society. You're like, look, there's no reason that you should let a disability or adversity define who you are.
Yeah.
Because you can be completely capable. There's proof out there. Here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but he was our guy, man. Like I always felt like
he was definitely our guy.
Like Joey Moss, like that's Edmonton's guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a real bummer.
Yeah, I think we should name this episode after him.
Well, I think we're probably gonna get pretty crass eventually, so maybe not the entire thing, but like we'll put it in the
brackets.
Tag. In brackets. Did he have a number? I know like there was a seventh man thing and whatnot, but I don't know if he ever had a number, huh?
I don't know.
Fuck, it'd be great if like they could like give that guy like a number, like a retired number.
They could retire.
Yeah, a number they can retire.
Yeah.
I wonder if he had one.
I don't know.
That'd be something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's like
Maybe it could be 57.
could be right. I don't know. Do you want to give him 57? When was he born? 63.
63.
Yeah, he could be like number 63.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had a 63.
Or maybe the year that he joined.
That was like 82, maybe.
There's
And yeah, like whenever he entered the organization, whenever it was, or maybe like his birth year, whatever it was. That's a really good idea. If they had like a number for him.
Yeah.
If I had any power at all whatsoever, I would make that happen. But
Yeah.
we are.
They will. They will for sure.
Yeah,
like,
they should. I mean,
or maybe like some sort of.
oh, he'll be in the rafters.
He'll be in the rafters, or they might have a statue, or they'll do something for him. I know they will.
Oh, geez, a statue or something.
Yeah, because he was with them since the beginning. So
yeah. No, I mean, you can argue. I don't think it's like arguable. You could argue it, but I don't think it's arguable in the sense that there's very few people in this city. We've said it before already, but there are very few people in the city who are as important to Edmonton sports than Joey Moss.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like top 5, at least top 5.
Oh yeah, for sure, guaranteed. Yeah. Oh, did you happen to see?
Yeah, let's move along. I'm bummed out.
Did you happen to see the new Borat movie?
No, I mean I've heard enough about it.
Yeah.
People won't stop talking about it.
I saw it on Friday.
And how's the Giuliani sequence?
It's great.
Yeah. Is it as non-issue as Giuliani's trying to make it out to be?
I wish I hadn't heard anything about it before I watched it. But you couldn't ignore it, especially if you read the news. But
it's out there.
That's not even the biggest. That's not even the funniest part of the movie.
I think that's not like necessarily a funny part.
No, it's more like it's more of a
oh god,
it got you.
I love the Simpsons line, like Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah,
it's funny, but not funny.
Not funny. Not even funny. But there's one scene where he's doing the dance with his daughter.
Yeah.
At this one club where it's like they teach you how to be like really
like a pick-upper,
like
go getter.
In a club where like it's all white people, but it's all like they teach how to like class, and ladies wear the gloves up to the elbows and stuff like that.
Oh, it's high society.
Yeah, and he
it's
goes
like a debutante ball.
Yeah, so Borat goes there with his daughter, and they do a dance. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I was crying laughing.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like at the end. I was like, me and my cousin, we were both we were just holding our stomachs laughing.
That's good to hear, man.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. I'm glad that there is, because I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen is a genius.
Yeah, and the thing is that it's split between him and his daughter. The actress who plays his daughter is amazing.
Yeah, who tweeted that earlier? It was like
she's a Bulgarian actress.
Really,
she's so funny in this. She's amazing in this movie.
Yeah, somebody. Seth Rogen. He's like, I don't know where they got this girl, but she's like a gift to comedy.
Oh yeah, she's
really
hilarious.
funny.
She's so funny. Like
that's awesome.
And
because he had the dude in the first one, right? The guy who teabags him.
Okay, that's what the dance is. The kind of the teabag moment. Like,
really,
same thing where you're just like, because in that part you're just laughing your ass off. This part was like, I couldn't believe it. I was watching. I was like, that's awesome. That's hilarious.
I love how aggressive that guy's comedy is.
Oh yeah, it's very it's raw, but it's meant to trigger an emotion. But yeah, that dance sequence was amazing. It was like, the look on people's faces. They're like. And it was hilarious.
He's not even like, when you watch the original Borat and like the Ali G stuff and the bits he was doing for, I think they were all on HBO or Amazon Prime or something, right? The last little run of half hour.
Yeah, that's right. They're on
Crave had them.
Amazon, I think Amazon has them, but all of Ali G
Who is
stuff,
America or something.
Yeah, all of Ali G stuff when it comes to like either Ali G or Borat, all those are on YouTube.
Yeah, they're all on YouTube.
Yeah.
But what I mean is like, he's not like a shock comic. He's not like we're gonna eat this turd to make people laugh. Like, it's a goat turd, we're gonna eat it until it be gross. Like, he's not Jackass.
No,
he intricately plans all of his stuff.
Yeah, because I think he's like this. He knows the reaction that he's gonna get from telling a joke or like it's all set up to get a response.
Yeah.
So that's
like you said, he's trying to trigger an emotional response.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard. The thing about this movie is that it's not really. You can't play this. You can't do the same thing as you did with the first Borat movie, because the first Borat movie kind of like exposed us to like how like shitty people are in this society. Yeah. This movie is like, it doesn't bother with that. It's like, you know that already. You know how people how fucked up people
you know how garbage.
Yeah, so
humans
like,
are.
Yes, like American society is filled with garbage people. But having said that, there's like I was watching interviews with him afterwards with that Bulgarian actress, and he said basically he's like on the Republican side, he goes, there are good people. He's like, there's such great.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like, I met so many great people, and I'm not sure if you saw the scene where he stays with these two Republican guys overnight in their cabin.
Yeah, it's like a log cabin, right?
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, he said those guys are great. He's like, they're the nicest guys. They took me in. I was with them for a couple of days, and they said, yeah, he goes, those guys were great. He's like, they were Republicans, but sadly, they fell into the QAnon kind of like conspiracy theory stuff.
Yeah.
But and you get to see those guys in the movie. They're just trying to help him.
Yeah, they don't seem like malicious.
No, they're the nicest guys. Like, and so he goes.
What is he trying to like beat ghosts out of the wall? Like, what's he doing with his shoe on the?
Oh, he's trying to kill COVID.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I just saw him like, this is how you get them out, and he's hitting the wall with a shoe.
Oh yeah,
what's going on over here?
The thing is too is that after I saw that, I'm like, it reminds you that, you know what? There's so many like Republicans who they vote Republican, but they hate Trump. And
There's a lot. I mean, I've got family in the States who are on both ends of the Republican spectrum. Like some are diehard, like eyes are way too wide open. Like Trump is our Xerxes God King.
Yeah.
And then I've got ones who are like, oh God, this guy just needs to stop talking. Like we vote Republican because that's what we do, but I just wish he would go away.
Yeah, and there's certain like if you have, and all of a sudden like policy gets in the way because are you voting for party over
President?
Then you're like, you know, where does it lie? Like I don't know where the truth lies, but like and then, like then after I watched that movie, I just watched some Republicans Republican voters reacting to like some of the stuff that Trump says, and they're just like
a lot of them are so grossed out.
Yeah, they're normal. They're just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like,
yeah, man.
They're like, why would they? He goes, they're like why would any Republican in their right mind vote for this guy? And then they said, they go like, why wouldn't we vote for Biden? He goes, that makes no sense.
It's wild, man. And that's who I don't trust, right? I don't trust those people who are like, this guy's nuts, but we're Republicans, so we got to vote Republican.
Yeah, the thing is too is that I think the difference between this election and this election and the last one is that you had coming into that election, like this time Trump is the most he has the lowest
everything.
He has the lowest everything.
He has
the lowest like positive ratings out of any president in history.
Well, he's lost all respect out of rational thinking people.
Yeah, and like also when he was running against Hillary Clinton, who was the second most least liked like a candidate in history. That's not the same thing this time around, but you know, we'll have to wait and see because like who knows what's gonna happen.
I'm saying, man, I think you're getting 4 more years. I think you're getting 4 more years of Trump. I think they're getting their 4 more years. And I think once he's out, you're probably gonna see like Don Jr. step up.
Don Jr. will be the next one after Trump.
Yeah, he'll run. Yeah, and I mean, if he runs and they don't get really, if you had like an Andrew Yang, Kamala Harris ticket, I think you had a real chance to just mop up the floor at Trump. But the Democratic National Convention and the way they're trying to sell those characters, then they are being sold as characters. They want somebody who can appeal to enough conservative-minded people to not make themselves seem as to be socialists. There's like socialist fear still exists over there. That's why Bernie got railroaded. That's why Andrew Yang is gone. Yeah. And you're never going to get Buttigieg in there. There's no way you're going to get a gay president in 2020. They're terrified, man.
I don't mind Mayor Pete.
Mayor Pete. No, he's good. As far as humans go.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good dude and probably highly more intelligent than either of these two clowns.
Yeah, but my whole thing with Pete was that he didn't really have a plan for Medicare. No. So
he's a vice president.
Yeah, and like yeah, he's a good vice president.
He's a staffer.
Yeah, like the Kamala Harris will be a great vice president if she wins. But my whole wish would be that people who are elected to power, whether it's presidency or whoever they fill in their cabinets, but education, when it comes to education, the environment, everything, I think those people have to have at least some sort of science background.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the problem with like the whole idea of the right, not even like the right wing or Republican, but there's this like hardcore like Christian right-wing push in the States that is like, no, we're like a Judeo-Christian society. We believe in God. Science doesn't matter. And that's not to say that like they're all like that. Like there are obviously people who have faith and still heavily believe in science.
Yeah, like that's fine if if that is your like on Sunday, that's what you do. Like if you're a devout Christian or you're Catholic,
whatever your religion
whatever you
is.
are, right? But you have to have that is a personal thing.
Yeah.
Like that you don't let that enter you into your work life. So like I would rather have like.
But that's the problem over there, though.
That's a huge problem. This is all like obviously this is wishful thinking, but like you'd want someone if you're in the Department of Education, like I don't care what it is, but you have. I think someone should actually at least have a scientific background.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how you. I think that, like at a very minimum, that's how you solve a lot of these problems. Like you have to approach it from a science point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and like you can't cherry pick your science.
No, you can't. Like,
And they're both doing it right now. Like you're seeing that on both sides of the aisle. You're seeing the left cherry pick their science.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing the right cherry pick their science. Mm-hmm. It's like climate change and climate denial and like gender studies are just such hotbeds of like rage.
Oh yeah.
You can't talk to them about this, and you can't talk to them about this because they will like they're and even within like gender studies and gender sciences on the left, there are spectrums there that like within their own group they can't get along.
Yeah,
and within climate change and climate deniers on the right, they can't get along.
No, on the right they can't get along because they can't even come to grips with like what is real and what they're going to agree on even because they don't have the educational background or the guts to admit that climate change is real. Mm-hmm. So they're not even on the right like start off point to begin with, right? So like, but on the left, it's there's like who's the first to give up and who's like everyone's like I'm right, you're wrong. Shut up! I don't want to hear anything from you. Like that's the
agree
end of
or like it's literally join or die.
Yeah, exactly.
Join my way of thinking where we will cut you out and we'll cancel you and you will die.
Yeah,
it's like the left is just a mess with this whole idea of like we're gonna spout an ideology. That's all there is, and you either get on board or you're out.
Yeah, because I think the one thing we learned about Democrats is that they are definitely, for lack of a better term, they are weaker than the Republicans. Because Republicans will just they believe in what they believe in, and then no one there's rank. You have to be rank and file. There's no, you don't stray away. If you stray away, they're like you're forgotten about. They're like okay, fine. You're no longer part of our party. You're going to be fired, whatever, right? But so the reaction from the left should be, okay, you know what? We're not as. It's known that we're not as tough as they are. Mm-hmm. They set their policies, they stick to it, whatever, right? But then when the Democrats start to become tough, all they do is fight with each other.
Yeah,
yeah.
They can't get their shit together.
What you see now is the result of that. Like
exactly.
They're like, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to debate you. I don't want to do this. And so what we say is right. And if you want to be here, we're blocking you from speaking at our university or whatever. So
we'll ring bells and pull fire alarms.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are like they don't realize that they are paving the way. Like, and we've said it a bunch of times. They're paving the way to that Orwellian, dystopian gray.
Yeah.
Think speak bullshit.
Yeah.
But they're so scared that it's going to come from the other side. Like you're not. I don't think in a million years you're going to get Big Brother from the right. It won't happen. Those QAnon guys and all the guys who want to be Navy SEAls and walk around wearing flak jackets and militia people. Yeah. They'll shoot it down before it happens.
Yeah.
But the left is definitely like they're the gateway. That weird like far left is definitely the gateway to Big Brother.
Yeah, because you have you have on the right you have just denial.
Yeah.
And on the right you just have self entitlement.
Entitlement. Yeah. It really is like a weird kind of what's that Dunning-Kruger syndrome on the right. You get Dunning-Kruger and science denial.
On the right, you definitely do. Yeah,
and freedoms. Right. Mm-hmm. You can't tell me what to do. I'll burn this bitch to the fucking ground. You're going to get that on the right. And then on the left, you've got this, like you said, it's just like, we're going to infight. And eventually everybody just wear gray. Everywhere gray. Everybody just, pray to the mustache face. Yeah. And don't think anything.
Yeah.
Don't think anything out of the norm. Mm-hmm. Well, just cancel it, get it out of here.
Well, that's I think that's one of the reasons, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's one of the reasons why everyone was so enamored by Bernie Sanders is because free education, free but then they're like, okay, fine, oh good, we don't have to pay for it now. That's great. You get Bernie in there as fast as you can.
Get Bernie in there as quick as you can.
Yeah, but
well, that was Yang too, right?
That was Yang too,
yeah.
but Yang was like some of the stuff he was talking about actually made sense, but same thing. He'd he would be a good vice president.
A good VP.
Yeah, he'd be a great support guy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like a Yang Harris or like a Harris Yang,
Mm-hmm.
like a Bernie Harris, Bernie Yang, like even Yang Bernie,
Yeah.
Harris Bernie. Like, any one of
They
those.
sound like burger combos.
And they sound like burger combos. But the thing is, they've got themselves so spun out of shape over what they think socialism is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I was talking to my uncle down there too, and he's like my aunt's, my mom's sister's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Close, super close to this guy. He's one of my favorite people in the world. But at the same time, they have a belief that we in Canada have the, like, you know, the, what do they call them, the death boards, you know, for hospitals.
Oh, yeah.
In our socialist system, like you just go into a hospital and you just die because, you know, you don't get private health care. So if you're sick, you go to these like socialist hospitals and they just choose who's going to die. I'm like, no, you maniac.
No.
It's not like that at all. And I'm really making it very baseline. I'm really like simplifying the way he thought about it.
Yeah.
But really, that's a thought that they have, is they think that we have these weird socialist ideals up here, and it's like a communist country. It's like, no, we're kind of capitalist, and at the same time, like, we're just like you, but we have certain systems that came into place a long time ago that work out really well. And yeah, they're born in the idea of socialism.
Yeah.
But we're not socialists.
No, but the ideas came about to like to like what is the decent thing to do? Like how do we take care of our people who are sick?
Yeah.
And so so those ideals came out not because of
Tommy Douglas.
they didn't come out because you know, there was someone had to put it to a vote. They just said, you know,
No.
this is the human thing to do. So like,
Well, not just that, but like it was common sense at a time when you could still steer the battleship in the right direction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, you know what makes sense? If you want to have a large, gigantic corporate entity in Canada, you got to pay into the healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, right? Yeah, we're doing that. Yep. It's like that's. I mean, again, super simplified, but essentially that's what it was. Now there was more battle to it. I think there's a really great CBC movie about Tommy Douglas, right? That kind of goes more into it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, really, that's kind of what it came down to. Is common sense won.
Yeah.
Common sense prevailed, and now we have healthcare for all.
Yeah.
Now, and we don't even ours is really good, and it's not even as good as what you get in like Europe and the UK and Australia. Like even theirs is.
But yeah, we're not taxed at 50. We're not taxed 50% of our.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, over there, it's like if you have medication you need, you walk up and get it.
Yeah.
Here we don't quite have that.
Yeah, there's I guess you're in Europe. You're kind of I guess constrained in this fact of like what you can do in life just because you're just because of like how much money you're gonna make and how much you're taxed, and so
there is that.
But there is that. So everyone kind of lives the same lifestyle, right? So
Which also freaks Americans out.
it freaks Republicans out.
It freaks
completely.
Republicans out.
Yeah.
Like in their mind, that's like, well, that's just one step to socialism.
Yeah,
Like, that's
exactly.
communism.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's kind of not.
Yeah, it's not. I'm like if you they Charlie Kirk said it best. He's like, I think he said he goes, that's not the country. That's not a country I want to live in. Whereas like I can make decisions and be an entrepreneur, do all this kind of stuff. Your chances of doing that are actually limited if you live in those countries, right? But
Well, if you're born and raised in those countries.
if you're born and raised in those countries, but if you live there and you're born into that system, yeah, then that's totally fine. But that guy sold himself out to Trump, so
Yeah.
that guy's a
Well,
He's a bitch.
He's just kind of just fall in line, right?
Fall in
Rank
line.
and file. But again, like, I mean, the ideas that freak them out are just so ridiculous. Like the whole thing with the masks. If you wear a mask, you're going to deplete your CO, or you're going to increase your CO2 levels. Your blood toxicity.
Oh, you saw
goes
that
up.
interview with that when he was interviewing with that young kid?
No.
He
What is
was-
this? Is Charlie Kirk?
No, this one kid said the exact same thing you just said. He just said,
Oh no, but that's the rhetoric they're spouting out. On the right.
that's exactly what he said. He goes, if I breathe this mask, I'm just gonna be inhaling CO2, which is bad for you. And I'm like, there's CO2 you're breathing in CO2 every day of your life.
Do you know how CPR works?
Yeah.
It's like, do you realize how little oxygen you use, dummy? It's like there's a reason you can do CPR.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like there's something that happens in you that allows all that oxygen back. Like they don't get it, right? But they look at things like Japan, or like they don't think about the idea of Japan or Asian countries where the second you get sick, you put on a mask. When you're walking down the street, a lot of people have them on because like either the air quality is bad or they have a cold. They have a cold or they have the flu or something.
Yeah.
Though over here, it's like the second you bring up this idea, like, hey, how about we do this thing? Or if you're sick, you wear a mask. Like, no way. If I'm sick, I'm sick. You wear a mask.
Yeah.
It's like, oh God, whatever.
Not only is that a sign, it's a cultural thing.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah, it's
like
like-
they just won't do it.
They
here.
won't do it. I'm like, just put on a mask. Like you can still walk around, but just put a mask on.
Yeah.
And if you're sick, just that means you can go in wherever you want. You can do whatever you want, and just wear a mask.
Totally fine.
Yeah. And then when you get inside your car, you can take it off.
You can take your mask off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not hard, man.
Yeah. I kind of we can go back and forth about the mask thing, but I'm like, you know what? Fucking don't wear don't wear one. Get yourself
Get sick, man.
Get sick.
Do whatever.
Yeah.
Do whatever.
I don't care anymore. Yeah.
I'm at that point now where I've always thought, like, I hate wearing them, but I wear them because that's the rule. Everybody's like, politely in society, we're wearing masks because we're a polite society, and we should try to do what's best for everybody else.
Yeah.
So you do them, right? Store doesn't want me, or store wants me to wear it. Store wants me to wear it. I'm gonna wear it when I walk into the store. That's just the way it is for me.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But I do think, like, if you had that thing where, like, just wear a mask, go out, do your thing. We don't shut shit down. Everybody wear the mask, and everybody be normal. It'll work. But if you do that thing where it's like, hey, wear one, don't wear one, whatever. The problem now comes down to, like, illness and injury and all the other shit that happens alongside COVID.
Yeah.
But you would think that people would know that. Like, okay, look, if I get COVID and I get sick and I end up in the hospital, what about somebody falling off a ladder? What about somebody getting hit by a car? If I'm taking up an ICU bed and a ventilator or whatever is necessary, the healthcare necessary to take care of me, which is preventative, like easily prevented, and then somebody else, walks headfirst into a buzzsaw, whatever, at work, right? Now they need to get into the ICU, but we haven't got the beds available. We haven't got the resources available. Somebody's going to die, right?
Yeah.
You would think that common sense would be like, hey, best thing to do is just wear the mask and move on. If I don't like it, I don't like it. Maybe I'll write about it on my shitty blog to my 15 followers. Yeah. That's what I'll do. I'll bitch about it on my podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you do. But they don't do that. Like, the idea of politeness is just dead. We should technically just have courtesy, be cool and be polite.
Yeah, that's
an ideal situation.
That's ideal. But
it'll never happen.
The thing is too is that's kind of it's more. I think it's more like common sense than you think. I used to think the same thing too, because you see the majority of people they do it, right?
The majority does.
The majority does, but like when you see the people who don't wear, they're the ones who are caught on YouTube and on Facebook.
You see them coming too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
so you're like,
God.
you know what? And then I feel like when they're walking around, I'm like, I don't say anything. Like, I'm just like,
I couldn't care less.
I couldn't care less.
I'm at that point now. I'm like, you do you. And don't tell me why you're doing you.
Yeah.
Don't tell me why you don't wear a mask. I couldn't give a shit why you don't wear a mask.
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't pull out your phone. Don't
no.
Just do all that stuff. Like, it's not even entertaining anymore.
No,
it's just
man.
like, I'm just like, whatever. Just.
I was in Sobe's day before yesterday, and I see a kid walking around. And it's pretty chilly, but he's wearing like a t-shirt and shorts. And he's walking around, no mask, doing his thing, right? I'm like, oh, whatever. I mean, I'm getting my cereal. And I come around the corner, and I see him at the self-checkout with his obese, I guess, father. He's got like the hat with the sunglasses on top and a short sleeve t-shirt and loud. I'm like, well, this is cartoonish. Like, you're like a friggin' Far Side cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, this is why people make fun of you, because you're a cartoon character.
Yeah.
But you exist in the real world among the normal folk. And then, you're just out there doing your thing, and you probably you like to tell people why you don't wear it.
Yeah.
You probably like to look at people, sneer, and make a little chuckle, like, look at these ass clowns wearing their mask. Like, you're gonna be the one who says it.
Yeah, because I think they find that the defiance of wearing one somehow makes you brave to the disease.
Well, yeah, it's their identity of being strong.
Yeah, and
We're tough.
Yeah, so like if they don't get sick,
Yeah.
if they don't never get, they'll be like, oh, it was all a hoax. I was right. But I'm like,
It was luck, pal.
No, I'm like, you got really lucky.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yeah.
It's like, don't mistake your luck for skill.
Yeah, exactly.
We
like,
had a
I'm like, thank God you didn't get sick. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's fine. But
It's
like,
great, man.
But man, they just don't. You're just putting yourself in a risk that you don't like. It's just so you don't need to do that. Like,
Exactly.
I have to admit, I hated wearing masks when you first started. I'm like,
I still do.
I hate wearing those disposal ones. But then I was like, once I got a proper mask and it's comfortable, yeah, you're just like, oh, whatever. Just throw it on. 5 minutes, you're in and out.
That's the kicker, man.
Yeah.
That's the key of it.
Yeah.
I modified a mask that I found online to hold a filter in it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty tight. Like, it covers up and it's really nice, but it goes around my head. It's very comfortable. I don't have the shit behind the ears. And I enjoy wearing it because it's a 3D printed skull face, and I really enjoy that mask. I like the weird ass looks I get.
How often do you wash it?
Probably every 3 or 4 days. It's neoprene, so it's really easy to wash.
Okay.
So take it out, I wash it, pull the filter out, give it a scrub, dries up overnight, put it back on, hit the road.
Oh, nice.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's and it's got like a nice plastic front, so it's not like it's not sucking in dirty air from the front all the time, or have like
Yeah.
a big brown smoker splotch on the front.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Smoking. Wasn't it in a movie where somebody had like the mask and they had like the cigarette hole through the mask?
It was. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Somebody was smoking through the hole in there.
What was it?
In their surgical mask.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Kramer when he was trying to get that guy to like
The cokehead?
the cokehead, yeah.
Smoking and drinking at the same
yeah,
time?
He's like, here's to feeling good all the time.
Oh, that's a great show, man. Oh,
Yeah,
my
man.
God. Fucking, those guys are never working again.
Yeah,
You know how much they make per year off royalties of Seinfeld?
yeah, tons.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Between Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld, it's like 400 million split between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane for one cycle
Yeah.
of syndication.
Yeah,
Friends like 20 million an episode, or a cycle of syndication per character. It's $20 million a year.
yeah. Like why would you need to work again?
Oh, I mean, if you think about it, like Jerry Seinfeld is on his way to becoming the first billionaire comedian.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's like that's in our lifetime. In his lifetime, he will be the first billionaire comedian.
Yeah, the
just
richest,
off of royalties.
Yeah, because I think the richest before him was like was Bill Cosby at his peak.
Yeah, at the peak level.
Yeah, because they said Bill Cosby could have bought NBC.
I don't doubt that
Yeah.
for a second.
Yeah,
Because like the Cosby Show was on all the time.
yeah.
on every channel.
He was America's dad.
It's America's dad.
Yeah,
Well, he is America's creepy dad.
yeah. Then he was someone's daddy.
Then he was multiple people's daddy.
Mm.
You know, they just didn't know it because he roofied him. Do you remember when we were kids and you could like pick up the somebody bring like a Bill Cosby record? They'd bring it to school and the teacher was like a Cosby or comedy fan. And he'd play it.
Oh yeah, I had Cosby records. Oh well, I had Cosby Kids records.
Well, yeah, like the what's it called? The Fat Albert.
Fat Albert ones,
all
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I think I had 4 records of those.
Because Fat Albert was the Buck one.
Yeah.
That's like the big one where they play Buck, and then somebody would have to put Fat Albert on their back, and everybody's like, nobody wants to carry Fat Albert.
Nobody here wants to carry Fat Albert.
But he would talk about. I'm pretty sure it was Cosby. I don't know if he talked about it here or somebody else talked about it, but I think that's the one they talk about like Spanish Fly and like roofing chicks.
yeah,
And I'll just do whatever you want. And then Bill Cosby did it.
yeah, he did it.
He was doing it.
Yeah, he was a victim of his own doing, I guess.
That's like in Talking Funny, right? In the Louis C.K. segment of Talking Funny when he's talking about like don't rape, like rapist and rapey, and you're like, that's gross, Louis C.K. Does he look back at that now and he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said anything about sexual assault.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I shouldn't have said anything about having my dick
Well,
out.
the thing is too is that like Lucy, what did he do? Lucy, he just pulled his dick out,
He
right?
asked them if he could jerk off in front of them.
Yeah.
He pulled his dick out when they said yes, and then he did.
Yeah, so he horrified women. He didn't like really.
Yeah, he gave them, like-
he never touched any woman.
No, from what I know about Louis C.K., and he didn't touch anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't physically do anything. But he was a complete dick about it.
Yeah.
I think at one point
Because he thought he could just get away with everything. Because
Yeah.
because at his peak, he was the biggest. He's the biggest comedy star. He was the biggest
Huge.
comedy star. Yeah. So,
Yeah, in his time, at his peak, Louis C.K. was the shit.
Yeah.
Like literally, he was like writing. He was the Robert Rodriguez of comedy. He wrote, directed, edited, shot, did everything on his show. Became like a huge star for FX, I think, right?
Yep.
FX or show whatever Louis was
FX.
on.
Yeah, I think it was FX.
It was massive hit.
Yeah.
Huge like touring career. Massive. Like everybody wants to be on Louis C.K.'s.
Yeah, he was selling out like stadiums. Like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wrote Pootie Tang.
Yeah.
He was writing on Chappelle's show too, I think.
Yeah, and he was also he co-starred with. I remember I was watching an episode with. He was on Conan with Robert Smigel when they first did the dog thing.
Really?
Yeah, I can show it to you.
The
afterwards.
first Triumph, huh?
Yeah, they were like they had some real dogs in there. They were doing Triumph's voices.
Well, because was he a writer on Conan? Because he was on that a lot back in the day.
I think he might have been. Yeah,
Could have been a
we
writer
have
on
to,
that.
Yeah, I double check it for though.
Like Louis C.K., Dion Cole, all these guys I think were all like big
Dion
writers.
Cole.
Dion Cole is incredible.
that guy.
He's got a great new like Netflix thing on Instagram where he's doing his Netflix like workouts for his specials. Like all the working out that he does, he just like chopped it all together. And he's got like this like really raw cut of comedy, and it's good. Like when you watch it, you kind of have to be like a fan of comedy, I think, to kind of get what's going on. Like somebody who's not a fan of comedy,
Yeah.
like this is stupid. He's barely getting by. Like they're all kind of half bits, but he chopped together raw footage, and it's really interesting.
Yeah, because when did he stop working for Conan?
Dion Cole?
Yeah,
Oh man, probably like 10 years ago,
10 years ago, right?
maybe around that.
I'm trying to think. When was the last time I saw him on with Conan? I know he shot a remote with him one time.
He was on not too long ago. He like during quarantine, he did a couple bits with Conan.
Yeah, I can't remember which one he did. I think Conan just brought him by and he was like, said like, they did a remote somewhere, but like,
Because Dion Cole would always do that like how black people see the world kind of thing, and it was always
oh
brilliant.
yeah,
Like it was brilliant
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, what's it called? Vasily Lomachenko lost.
Yeah, right. That's weird.
That's weird.
That's wild. Khabib retired,
And Khabib retired.
and nobody saw that coming. Well, nobody saw that coming.
Nobody saw that coming.
I think everybody saw the fight coming. It was
What'd you think?
pretty
of the,
dominant.
What'd you think of the fight?
I know like Gaiji's trying to say that like I had him on the ropes with leg kicks. I'm like, oh, you had him until he decided you didn't have him. It went exactly how I expected.
Yeah.
Gaiji had it for as long as he thought he had it in his mind, but he only had it because Khabib was like, I'm bored now. I mean, you remember when in Buffy the Vampire Slayer when Willow hunts down her girlfriend's killer?
Oh yeah.
And she's like, we're done.
We're done.
Skin's gone.
Yeah, skin's
That's
gone.
Khabib. Khabib at any point in the match, he's like, or in the fight, he's like, yep,
I think he's like, yeah, show me what you have.
let's see what you got.
Let's stand. Let's throw, and then let's.
Yeah.
Then.
This is a learning experience for me. Let's see how much I can take before I decide to end it.
So yeah, he stood with them, and Gaethje's face was pretty not totally fucked up, but I was like,
No, I mean, he didn't
But
look
he-
terrible, but he was taking hits.
yeah, he took hits, and then
Which didn't look like much.
no.
Like when they're being thrown, they didn't look like much.
But that thing is like that's his style. Like he'll always take damage in
Yeah.
every one of his fights. If he's gonna stand and throw, you're gonna eat some for sure. But the Khabib just
It was beauty. Like
Yeah,
the first time he tried to
Jesus
slip it
Christ.
in, and it
Yeah.
was weird looking. Like it didn't work. You're like, oh, what is he? What is
yeah,
he
because I
doing?
didn't know, like who's on top? I was like, what the hell's going on here? Because they were just convoluted. Like their just bodies were like inverting each other.
And then he rolled into that like cute little triangle.
Yeah.
And it was just squeeze.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, I think like I know he told his mom like I'm not gonna fight without my dad, but I don't know. I think he could also tell himself that who else do I have to fight?
Yeah. Who else has he got?
Like, he's not gonna move up in weight. He's not gonna move up in a weight class.
No, he's gonna maybe do a super fight with GSP. That's all he can do.
That's all he can do. Yeah,
And that's essentially, I think, for those two guys, boils down to like Mike Tyson and not Booker T. What's his nuts? Roy Jones Jr. Right?
Yeah,
We're gonna go out there and have a good time, but we're probably gonna hurt each other real bad.
exactly.
Like I think that's what he's looking at there. It's like we're gonna have a really good time, me and GSP, but we're gonna try to hurt each other.
That'd be a
real
weird
bad.
fight because I think they would both just want to like just go to the ground and see whose wrestling is better.
Oh, man, right?
Think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it becomes one of those things where both of the like GSP's a jabber. His jab is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
It's a rapier, man. He just like Bruce Lee's guys in the face.
Yeah.
That crazy jab. Khabib can come around with his right and just smack you in the mouth. We've seen it over and over again.
Yeah.
But they both have great wrestling. They're both crazy strong. Like, say what you will about GSP. Like, I know everybody kind of comes back down to whole, like, well, he wasn't a wrestler. It's like, no, he's a guy who, if he decides he wants to learn how to wrestle, the Canadian Olympic team says, hey, come with us.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, what happened. So, like, he does that, where he just learns how to do it. So you've got two guys who are incredibly gifted, incredibly talented, incredible, like maneuvering. They can maneuver in positions and, like, kind of gain and lose and whatever and kind of go around. So I think you're looking at, that's the most fun to watch. Like, when they get on the ground, what's going to happen here?
Yeah, exactly.
The grappling game, the ground and pound.
There'll be a science to it. They'll be like, hey, who can grab this guy's arm, flip him, and then. But I think with like that would be a great match no matter what.
Yeah, the jockeying would be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, but I think with Khabib is that I was watching some training videos of his. Some guy just made a montage of all of his training that I've never seen before.
Montage, huh?
Montage.
Man, you really went to like a full Francais.
Yeah, and I just could not believe what I was watching.
It's nuts.
It's like the way he does have you seen his rope training when he does the rope? That is like
it's nuts.
What the like I was watching, I was like, what the hell is this guy doing?
Like when Daniel Cormier is like, that's the strongest guy I've ever wrestled with.
Yeah.
This guy he's capable of like this weird kind of like non-fatigue, like the way he gets ready for a fight.
Yeah.
His muscles aren't getting tired.
No.
And everybody else is like, I could never do that.
Yeah.
So you think you're gonna beat him when he gets in the ring? Like you're not gonna.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, everyone knows why he says this, but like he always says that he says I respect the fighter. Like, whoever's gonna fight, he goes, but he goes, I'm gonna smash this guy. Like I'm gonna submit him. He's like, he knows that there's an inevitability to the fight.
Yeah.
He knows he's not gonna lose.
No.
And so I'm taking the fight very seriously. So, but he knows he's not gonna lose.
Yeah, I'm. That's why I say, like with Gaiji, where he's like, I had him. Like those leg kicks really had him. I knew I hurt him. It's like, no. I mean, you hurt him because he wanted to see what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like he was probably testing his leg.
Yeah. And the thing is, like,
I don't think you're that good.
We're probably never going to see what else Khabib has in his arsenal, I guess.
No, I think you're right though. Like, who else has he got? Because like, there's always gonna be somebody else who's an up and comer who's gonna be, man, be nice to see Khabib fight that guy. Be nice to see GSP fight that guy. What could Anderson Silva do with this guy? But at some point, you get to the age where like, I've proven what I need to prove. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm finished.
I know.
I'm out.
I would still like him to fight Tony Ferguson. Like, just not because of like the outcome or whatever, but like I would still like to see that fight. But I don't.
Not to like, you know, be the counter to that you know, that wish, but I just
Okay, I'll say this. I wish that fight happened.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I wish that fight had happened.
Yeah.
Like the way it could have happened.
Yeah, because I don't understand. Like, because the thing is, like, Tony Ferguson was not ready for. He was not ready for Gaethje. He was like he what is it? He dropped. Did he drop weight twice or like he?
Yeah, he had two bad. I mean, like twice it didn't happen, and both involved like bad weight cuts, right?
Yeah,
So,
bad weight cuts, and then he tried to cut weight twice, and then went up against Gaethje, and then so when you have to like, I guess you have to train for like a certain opponent, right? So so you can't just train for Khabib. You have to train for Justin Gaethje. So like, he went in there and he's a great wrestler. He can throw. He's unorthodox. Like, he should have done all that shit to Justin Gaethje. Don't stand with the guy.
Don't stand with this guy.
No.
Clearly, he's doing something better than you.
Yeah.
It's not working, but it's a weird thing, man. Like having been in that position, obviously not at that level at all. Like, I mean,
When you fought Justin Gaethje?
When I fought Justin Gaethje, when he mopped up the floor with me. No, but there's like
you're coming off your victory from me by fighting me, right?
Exactly, right. I was coming off that victory, and then Gaethje just like, you know, wiped up the walls with my carcass.
Yeah, then he gave me a hug like that. Oh, I know how it feels.
I know how it feels, man. I've been there. I totally get it now.
Yeah.
On both sides, having been
in a hospital bed next to me.
In a hospital bed next to you, Rocky style. Yeah. It was like a fist bump, and then just like immediately unconscious.
Yeah, I gotta use the bedpan now.
Just leave it there. Don't move it. Don't put it on the floor. Don't put it on the floor.
Don't on the floor, okay?
I have to be able to reach it. Yeah. I can't move.
My jaw's broken still.
My jaw's broken.
Feed me my pea soup, please.
I ran out of the arena. Yeah. But no, man, it's one of those things where like it's a very true statement, like what Mike Tyson says, right? Everybody's got a game plan, like a punch in the face. Mm-hmm. It's like you can have a plan, and you might think, even though to everybody else your plan is failing and it's not working, in your head you're like, no, this is fine. This is good. Eventually I'll get to where I got to get to. But right now what I'm doing is good. This is working out just fine. We'll just keep doing this. Then before you realize it, you're in like the fourth round. You're like, I think I'm losing this very badly.
Yeah.
I think I'm really getting beat up.
And the way is when you see that from the other side, and the person is just ready to go.
Yeah. And they're not getting tired.
And they're not getting tired.
Why are you not tired? I'm tired. And they might be really tired too.
But they don't show it.
They don't show it. You're like, I don't see what's going on.
Yeah.
I cornered a fight one time where, just for fun, where a guy was just getting whooped. Like just getting tagged from all corners because he wasn't changing up his style. And I was a third down the line, and the corner weren't calling anything for him. Mm-hmm. They were just calling like bullshit. And I was like, fuck it. So I just got up there and yelled at him, started yelling at him things to do, and he kind of looks over, he's like, who's yelling? He sees me, and I just start reinforcing what I think he should be doing. Mm-hmm. And he changes two things. He just changes the way he jabs, and he changes the way he kicked. I started yelling it. I started clapping loud, like smacking my hands together. So I get his timing down. And it was super rude. It threw off the other fighter. But he started listening to me, and now I see game plans change on both sides, and my guy starts winning. Mm-hmm. Because that's all it takes sometimes. It takes you are hypnotically locked into a routine, and you think it's going really well for you. And you're like, okay, this is going really well. This is going really, and then you lose because you're either losing on points or you're taking a lot of damage, and you lose because you know you're about to get your ass knocked out.
Yeah. Or
you just need to be snapped out of it, and then the other person is like, I think I was in the wrong zone too, and then both guys change your game plan up. It's happening more and more now because it's a quiet arena.
Yeah.
In the UFC as well, right? But that's all it took. It just took like a hypnotic break, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, just doing everything wrong. And then he went in and started doing just two things differently. Mm-hmm. A jab differently and a nice kick differently. And it changed the outcome of the fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I think where do you see Khabib next year?
I think you're retired. I kind of feel like he's one of those guys who when he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to come back.
Yeah, he probably won't. Like, let's say not fighting, but like, do you see him?
I don't think he's an analyst.
Not an analyst.
Yeah, maybe open his own gym or something.
Yeah, I think he'll train with some of the other guys from like his team from.
He's got a good team.
Yeah,
he's got a few guys from the
like Islam and those other guys. Yeah, I think he'll probably just make sure that those. I think he's going to ensure that those guys fight hard
for sure,
and they're going to make sure they're they dominate their weight classes.
Oh yeah, I think he could be a huge asset, like a Jackson Wink TriStar style asset for a lot of guys.
Yeah, and he's like what 30? How old is he? 32, 31?
He's over 30. I don't think he's 33.
Yeah,
like he's in that gap. He's
so
really
he's
young.
so young.
Yeah. And what do you think about the pound for pound? John Jones losing his goddamn mind.
I think he should have just shut his mouth and just let Khabib have his time.
I think you're right.
And so I think he did say it, like this is his first tweet. But after that, just like, you know what, just let it go, man. Like, you know, how petty do you have to be?
Yeah, I think he's butthurt.
If you're comfortable, knowing that you're pound for pound, and a lot of people think you are, then you don't have to say it. Just say
absolutely true.
Just say, Khabib, congratulations, man. If you're gonna say not say anything, but you have to say something, just say greatest lightweight ever.
Very easily said. Easily, like that's all.
Or hands down, great, like without a doubt.
I'll tell you what, man. Like a master doesn't tell you he's a master.
No.
If somebody's telling you he's a master, he's not a master.
Yeah, you know what? You know how much better he would come off if he said that.
Greatest lightweight in the history of the sport.
Yeah, greatest lightweight ever. Yeah. Greatest lightweight ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and then just say that, and then say, what about the goat? And he'd be like, well, goat is for when you're done. And so he's done. And what he's done, no one else can do.
Yep, very easy to be gracious in that situation.
So yeah, he's lost 2 rounds, and those were like kind of iffy.
I'll tell you what, John Jones, he's never hit under a octagon to get away from the guys who want to do a piss test because they think you're on something.
He went full ahead with everybody, and he's dominated everybody that he faced. Like with clinical fashion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when people say things like that, like the pound for pound, and they bring up John Jones and they bring up Anderson Silva, like Anderson Silva absolutely has, I think, the respect of everybody.
Yeah.
He would never go out there and be like, you know, pound for pound. Whereas Anderson Silva in that contest, like, he would never do that.
No, he's just
GSP would never do that.
No, never do that.
You know, but like the guy who, like I said, masters don't tell you they're masters.
No, there's a little bit there's insecurity there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? Stop being a baby. Who gives a shit?
Oh, make 5 piss tests in a row.
Yeah.
I don't care about your picograms.
Yeah.
You know, I know you like dick pills, but here's the thing too: when they say, like,
don't get pulled over for weed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't ram your car into a pregnant lady's car.
Yeah.
When they talk about like the picograms and like what he's on, and they try to like explain all this shit away, here's what I will say to you. When it comes to all that shit, when they're like, "Oh, it does make a difference." Like, it does make a difference.
Yep.
It makes a difference in your head game. It makes a difference mentally. If you think there might be slightly a bit of an edge, whatever there is to it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're like, you know what, Advil gives me an edge. It's like, well, then Advil gives you an edge. Does it give you an edge on paper? Does it give you an edge against like your opponent when it, like, historically there's a show like when you take this stuff, it should be banned because it gives you this and gives you that, makes you high, makes you low, whatever. No, but it might give you the mental edge.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. If you think you've got like, I got like fucking 6 picograms, that makes me a Superman. Maybe that gives you a mental edge. You know, does Khabib ever have picograms? No,
he's just
he's just a mauler.
He's a mauler. Yeah, and the thing is, like, the weird thing about Khabib, everyone knows about this about him, is that he tells you what he's going to do to you.
Yes,
there's no game plan. There's no game plan that he hides.
No,
let me
tell you, this beginning going to be like this.
He goes,
then this happened, then I win.
Yeah, he told Conor, he's like, October 6th, I'm going to maul you because I'm going to get in the cage, I'm going to get him tired, I'm going to get on top of him. I'm going to beat on him. I'm going to toy with him, and then he's going to tap. Literally, that's exactly what happened.
That's what they do, man.
He calls his fights, and then he's like, I'm going to toy with him. I'm going to trash talk him.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. He's like, it's just, I was watching that.
To ask him who his daddy.
Yeah. He goes, let's talk now.
Yeah, let's talk now.
Yeah.
You want that was great. You want to talk? Let's talk now.
Let's talk now. While he's smashing his face.
Yeah, while he's smacking him in the face, he's yelling, "Let's talk now."
Or how does Conor say it? I'll give him a schmack.
A schmack. I'll give him a schmacky in the face.
A schmack from me is gonna feel like a double-barrel shotgun.
Oh, you leprechaun.
And then he got smacked.
He got smacked.
He got slapped.
There's another guy who just can't get his life together. I mean,
Conor McGregor?
Yeah, man, like all the weird crap happening now with this lady in the bathroom, whatever the hell it was.
Oh man, yeah, that guy has to like just tone down. That guy has to just be a family man and just tone down a little bit.
Calm it down, man.
Yeah.
Calm it down.
He just released a picture online right now.
Oh, he's massive.
He looks great.
Yeah, he looks incredible.
Yeah.
He's in good shape. He's beefy.
Who is he fighting? Dustin Poirier?
I think so. I didn't really, man. I've been kind of out of it for a little bit. this was the first time the Khabib fight was the first time in the last like month or so that I've given a shit about anything. But I think maybe he might have like Poirier fight coming up. I think they've offered it to him, or that's the fight they want him to have.
I don't know why I follow MMA now so crazily now.
It happens, man. It eventually, like, it's one of those things.
Yes, you know what it is? There's just nothing to do.
Yeah, it could be that too, right?
There's nothing to
There's
do.
nothing to do, so you just start following like all the UFC talk and the Bellator stuff. They're all look like a lot of fun right now. I've got this the Plex, and it's got like a bunch of live TV channels, and it's got one that's like all old fights, and like not old. They're all within the last 10 years. But it's like it's got Glory, it's got K1, it's got some Pride stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's got Pride. I think it's actually only got like the kickboxing. And some Bellator and some old school fights on it.
Yeah.
But it's like a feed that comes in from like an American channel. And it's fun to just watch guys just smack each other in the mouth. The kickboxing has been so much fun to watch again.
Yeah.
I haven't watched any real kickboxing in a long time.
Yeah, I'm wondering though, like the Gracies and stuff like that. What happens if you threw like Hoist Gracie? Like he's considered one of the best Brazilian jiu-jitsu martial artists of all time, right?
Yeah.
What happens if you threw him in a cage with Khabib?
Oh man, I mean, there's all kinds
those
of
those are hypocriticals.
Hypocriticals, like way back. In
Oh
the
no,
day.
those are like
Hypotheticals.
hypocriticals.
Hypocriticals.
Oh, God,
Nah,
praise
it's all
that
right.
functioning.
Hey, I acknowledge what you said, and I went in with you deep, and then I was like, no, that's the wrong word.
Yeah, we both got fucked.
Both
there.
did it.
Yeah.
But who knows, man? I mean, like back in the day, if you look at who Hoist Gracie fought and how the Gracies fought, like nobody had seen that kind of movement before. Like, nobody expected you to come in with a teep and then like all of a sudden go in with a guillotine, or like
It changed a lot.
Fool you into rushing for a double leg, and next thing you know, you're tapping out because like people just didn't know. Like wrestlers kind of did, but a lot of the guys that he went up against in that first one, like they had no idea, right?
Yeah, there was no weight classes either, right?
No, back then it wasn't. That's when you had who's that one dude who kicked what's his name, the Hawaii 5-0 guy.
Oh, fuck! I saw that fight. Yeah,
kicked his tooth into the front row. I mean, that was not. There was definitely no weight class there.
And you could wear clothes, like you wear like a gi, for example, right? Like you could.
You wear shoes. You could wear a gi. You could wear a kimono. You could wear whatever you wanted to do, man.
How could you? Yeah, it's just,
that one guy came in.
It was the Wild West of MMA.
Who was the one boxer? He was like a well-known boxer. Came in wearing one boxing glove because he was in the back. And I think it was one of Gracie's fights, wasn't it? Where he was it's UFC 1, I believe, where he was in the back and he saw them grappling and he's like, this ain't gonna do. So he took one boxing glove off. So he had one glove and one bare hand. He's like, I'll just grab him and punch him. And like nothing's happening.
Those are good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. He's like, well, I just couldn't get angles with that glove, and then I tried boxing him, and he just grabbed me and did something. I think he tapped out because Hoist Gracie was in his guard. He was in Gracie's guard. It wasn't even a move.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't even a submission. It wasn't like anything. He was in him, and Gracie was going for something. He had nothing, and the guy's like, I'm out. This is too weird. I can't do this.
Yeah, it's weird because
imagine Khabib from today there.
Yeah, think about that.
Think about that back then.
Yeah, because like Khabib is like just what I think what I like about him the most is that he's not like he's shredded completely, but his strength, how strong he is. When it comes to like grappling and like how
it's insane.
Like it's like I think they were interviewing some guy. He said yeah, Khabib invited me to his training camp, and we've never like he said we've never fought before. We just want to like see like he's like just come around. We'll do some training together.
Yeah.
And he goes and this guy was 240 pounds, and so
that was like Josh Barnett or somebody. Wasn't
could be
it?
yeah.
Like it was somebody well known.
Yeah. So he was being and then he said yeah. It goes I got into the ring, and within 10 seconds Khabib had me on the ground.
Yeah.
I was down there for 10. The match started 10 seconds in. He had me on the ground.
Yeah.
4 minutes and 50 seconds. We were in the same position. He was on top of me. He goes, I could not believe how strong he was.
It's nuts, man.
Yeah. And the second round, same thing. 10 seconds. Deal. I was down for 4 minutes 50 seconds. And then Khabib's like said to me, he goes, have you never? He goes, you've never wrestled before? And
I'm Division 1, motherfucker.
Yeah. He's like, what? And then he goes, no. He goes, you'll learn. He's like,
you'll get there.
You'll get there. And the guy's like. He goes, I can't. I couldn't. The guy I was overweight. I was like almost 100 pounds heavier than he was.
Yeah.
But I have never wrestled someone who was that strong.
Well, people have this like weird misconception that size equals strength. Like size and skill equal strength, and it really doesn't.
No,
like it's not like that.
Yeah, just that like just hardcore, just
He's
like
made
physical
of iron.
strength. Yeah, just
yeah.
like when he gets a hold of you, you're just like, can you imagine like just imagine that if like Khabib's like after you and he's one fight away from the title and you're that guy. Like Michael Johnson, for example, right? Like,
yeah, crazy.
That was scary. Like he beat the hell out. Then Michael Johnson trying to get up, he threw him back into the fence.
Michael Johnson's face when he got ragdolled.
The shock.
It was absolutely 100% shock.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing in his brain that told him that other people his size could be that strong.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly he's used to being the stronger, like more longer lasting fighter. Like he's used to being that guy. He's pretty great. He's pretty good at what he does. But when he got ragdolled, that mouth open, eyes wide,
just
going to the canvas. Jesus.
Yeah.
What?
And you can't give up because, like he said, he goes, Khabib's like, you have to give up.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't want to keep smashing you, but like you have to give up. He goes, I deserve this. And then what's he supposed to do? Say, I give up? He can't do that.
No, man.
So he just keeps like, okay, fine. So he kept smashing him.
I'll just keep going. I will do this until the best thing for you to do is either cover up or just like let your hands out and take the beating and hope to God the ref is like, I gotta stop this.
Yep.
Hope to God the ref is Herb Dean and he'll walk in and be like, no, we need to stop this.
Yeah, I remember because I can't remember who that one fight. He fought this one guy who was like just way more built than him, like same weight, but like way more. Like this guy was like a bodybuilder basically, right? And so I think they went face to face at the weigh-ins, and they went face to face, and then this guy said something to Khabib, and Khabib pushed him.
Yeah.
And Khabib,
now I'm curious.
Yeah, and I can't remember who it was, but then he's the guy that Khabib set the record for most takedowns.
Oh, hold
he took him down like I think like 20 something times or something like that.
I don't think I've seen the fight, but
and this guy was like this guy was ripped, and Khabib just he went nuts on this guy.
Just jicked up, jicked to shit.
Yeah.
Huge.
Like imagine that, like you got
when you're usually the biggest guy in the room.
Yeah, and you set the record for getting the most. You got taken down the most.
And he just decides to, hey, you know what I'll do is I'm gonna set the record on your ass.
Yeah, like he just picked him up, threw him to the ground, picked him up, threw him to the ground, and did never let go of him. It was crazy.
Oh, was it? Well, no, it wasn't. It was Pat Healy.
I don't know if you can take a picture of. If you see a picture of him, he's this guy who's just really ripped.
Oh, Gleason Tebow. Gleason Tebow's pretty jacked up.
Could be that guy.
Gleason Tebow. I will show you a photo of him because I can't. They don't have it on.
I'll know what he looks like. Yeah.
And let's just take a looky-loo over here. This is Gleason Tebow.
That's the guy.
Yeah, Gleason Tebow.
Yeah.
I didn't see that fight, but Gleason Tebow he's a destroyer too.
Oh yeah, Khabib like he literally ragdolled him.
Yeah, when you look at that and you think to yourself like Tebow had a hard time with him, and I think he's like my height, but like off season he's like 200 pounds, just not off season, but like out of the fight.
Yeah,
like
not fighting,
before training camps, not fighting. He's like a 200 pounder, like lean.
Oh yeah,
lean and like pecs and shoulders and abs and just a bag of ropes.
Yeah,
like he is that bag of ropes guy. You put your hand on him, you're like, is that concrete? And then Khabib is like, no, I'm just gonna ragdoll.
Oh yeah, it was. And he was looking at the ref while he was getting ragdolled. He goes, are you gonna stop this? Like
the look of just defeat.
Yeah, he goes, what? He goes, what do you want me to do?
Man,
he's like, I can't break the hold. And so he looked at the ref. He's like this. He's like, what the hell you want me to do?
What do we do here?
But Khabib just did not let him go. As soon as he went to look at the ref, he went flying in the air and he got smashed down to the ground.
Oh, I have seen that.
Yeah,
I actually have seen that when he goes up and it's almost like he's gonna. It's like a
falcon
arrow.
Yeah, and he lands on his shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like a falcon arrow.
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. Because the last time somebody did that was DC. When that used to be on the promo. Whenever they showed DC fight, it was always him picking what's his name? Was it Dan? What's it called, Henderson? Was it Hendo when he picked him up?
I think it was.
And dumped him on his head.
Yeah.
Where it's just these crazy like feats of strength where you think it is one of those wild things that happens less in fighting and more in the real world too, right? When somebody thinks that they're just like, I'm a world destroyer, and you're like, you're just some dude, you're just some guy in a bar, or just some guy on the street.
I'll admit, you're big.
You're a big guy, but you're just a guy.
Yeah, but if you don't have the strength, you don't know how to fight.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I had this kid one time run up and smack me right in the mouth, like clean. And I stood there and let it happen because I didn't realize he was going to do it. And he put his arms in the air like he'd won like a championship fight. He runs up, he puts his fist in his hand like he's going to throw a baseball. And he pops me right in the lip. And Strangler, Luke, is watching the whole thing happen. And even he's like, what are you doing? Put your hands up. He's going to punch you in the mouth. I'm like, what? And he just, boop. I stood there and I like look and I grabbed my lip and I put my tongue to my lip. And instead of like double legging the kid, I look at Luke. I'm like, hey, is my lip cut? and they're jumping him. They just jumped in to grab him because the kid took the second to cheer because he didn't realize that like he's not a knockout artist. In his mind, he was a knockout artist. He's the guy. He one punches dudes all the time in his own mind. But like when it came to a guy with a big square head like mine, comes and gives me a good shot, and I just for some weird reason, man, like I just kind of zoned out and I just thought about my tooth. I'm like, is my tooth chipped? And then Strangler.
That's the first thing I would do. I'd be like, hey, is any damage to my face?
Yeah, because like it just there was nothing there for me to worry about.
I care more about that than this guy.
Yeah, I cared more about this, and like clearly this didn't affect me. And then next thing you know, I'm just watching it happen in slow motion, where Strangler and Off the Grid Mike just jumped him and grabbed him and cheese grated him up against the wall. And then I remember what was going on, and then I jumped in, and the cops showed up, and they jumped in, and we all went to court.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And then we all went to court for that one.
Well, plowing ahead, let's leave MMA behind.
Yeah, well, I mean, MMA is MMA. It's pretty fun.
Yes,
what,
it is.
What I had here, I had
What do you have?
oh man, oh hey, so here's something that happened again today. It happened. I think I talked to Handsome Dan about this on the podcast like a couple of years ago. He's dead to me. Handsome Dan, you're dead to me.
I just missed the guy.
Yeah, man. There's a third chair, so whenever you want there. HD, Handsome Dan Barber. Yeah. That's his handle. If anybody's wondering, Handsome Dan Barber on the Instagram.
Where's he working right
now? He's doing something somewhere. He's cutting hair. I know he's doing that.
Okay.
But I talked to him about it, and it occurred to me that maybe so about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we're all in Thailand, Strangler's wedding, and we're sitting there doing our thing, and I was coming up with an end theme for the podcast, for like it's not like the outro song, that 3-minute thing, and I came up with this whole thing, and I wrote this little piece of music. And I realized after a little while that after I'd written the music and I played it in my head a little bit and I kind of like hummed it for Dan. He's like, yeah, it's really good. It's familiar, but it's really good. I'm like, what is that? Why is it familiar? It was a upbeat, happier, like more like deedle 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 version of fucking the Third Eye Blind song about jumping out the window song.
Oh yeah.
Step back from that ledge, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was that. I had written that in my head.
So subconsciously it was in your head, but you didn't.
Upbeat. Like totally different. I like instead of having like a downbeat, like sad guy, hey buddy, don't murder yourself. I was more like, hey buddy, have fun. That was the version I'd written in my head. And then today I was writing some stuff on the keyboard. Had the keyboard out. I was tickling the ivories, putting some stuff together, and I can't remember what it was, but it was something else upbeat. And I'm like, I think I'm ripping the song off. And I don't know why. It just kind of occurred to me that maybe sometimes, man, these guys don't realize they're ripping off songs when they do it.
Yeah, because there's only so many like melodies you can play where it's like am I actually, this sounds familiar.
This is done before.
Yeah, it is, because I'm not a musician by any means, but like I can tell if I'm trying to write something, or like if I was thinking about like making a song or something like that, I have to be inspired by something, and so I'll be like, okay, I'm like, oh, okay, this sounds like it sounds like 80s Depeche Mode. I'm like, if I use the synth this way, but yeah, it's very hard to do.
Have you ever just been like scatting, like just like you're by yourself, just bebopping?
Oh yeah.
Like I have a habit where if I'm in a house alone and nobody else is around me, I will whistle the John Cena song at the top of my lungs,
really?
As loud as I can. I don't know why. It's one of those things where my weird part of my brain, like my Tourette's, it's just like whistle as loud as you can. But then I'll be humming along and kind of like incorporating that into stuff.
Oh yeah, I do that. Like,
and then next thing you know, I'm just humming another song that exists.
Yeah, because for me it's like if you're home alone, and like like
we do dumb shit when you're home alone.
Everyone does dumb shit when they're alone. Like even in the shower, I hum and I sing when I'm in the shower, right? Like because I should not be in there for more than how long a song like takes to finish. So
well, you got to do the Navy showers.
Yeah, so like I do 5 minute, and so but when I'm alone, I'm like I put when I'm alone, I always have headphones on.
Yeah, you're listening to some music.
I have to listen to something. If I'm cleaning or if I'm like cooking or something like that, you have to have music on.
But that's what I'm getting at. Is like you have that much input in your head from other sources.
Then then it resonates, and you're like, okay, if I want to like be creative and make a song, I'm like, okay, where do I start? I'm like, what do I like to listen to? And then all of a sudden you'll be like, okay, I got this song. I'm like, no, that's Shake the Disease by Depeche Mode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that was like the remember when Michael Bolton got busted for that what was the song he did that turned out to be like the Temptations or no, Isley Brothers. It was the Isley Brothers song.
When
this
was
is
that?
from like the late 80s.
This is late. Yeah, that was a while
early
ago.
90s.
Yeah.
I remember it was Entertainment Tonight or something. He was saying about like I just had like a nugget of a song in my head, and I guess that's what I wrote. like, well, at first but it's bullshit, Michael Bolton. No, you didn't. But then you hear both songs and you think, well, they sound a lot alike, but they're not really a lot alike. So maybe that's what happens, right? He's just sitting there making a song, and then who knows? Maybe his producer or whoever else is in the studio with him, maybe one or two of them is like, oh, this sounds a lot like the Isley Brothers, but whatever. He doesn't say it. Next thing you know, they got a hit song in their hand. And then the Isley Brothers come knocking on their doors and, hey,
royalties,
motherfucker. Because that happened to Tom Petty with Sam Smith.
Yep.
He got the rights to that.
That's right, yep.
It happened, the Hollies got it with Radiohead, with Creep.
Creep, yeah.
They're credited as the writers on the Creep because that was the air that I breathe. And then, and it can happen by accident, probably a lot of times, maybe it does. But then I think like sometimes you got these homages, right? Like with Robin Thicke and Pharrell. They clearly were doing an homage to Marvin Gaye with, what is it, Blurred Lines?
Blurred Lines, yeah.
And then, Marvin Gaye's family's like, this is less an homage and more of like the same song.
Same song, yeah.
Because now when I hear Blurred Lines, I immediately, my brain starts like talking about, I start singing the Marvin Gaye lyrics to it. So like, I can't hear.
I don't like that Robin Thicke version.
You don't like it?
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's
because I'd rather listen to Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, I would rather. It's a better song.
It's a better song.
It's a much better song,
and it's original. You're like, you know what? What was going through his head when he wrote it? So
yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to hum it and get booted off of YouTube. But when you hear the Marvin Gaye version, it's smoother, and I like that high pitch Marvin Gaye voice. Like, it's so much more fun to listen to than that. Like, the weird. When you hear the Pharrell woo every 10 seconds, whatever it is, like, no, that's all I hear.
Yeah.
All I do when I hear that song now is count to 10. Because, like, he'll woo, and then you can just count to 10, he'll woo again. He does a woo, like, every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So it throws you off.
He follows the metronome very well when it comes to his woos.
Well, the producer? whoever mixed that thing is like, oh, just got all this shit in there.
I know. I don't know. The music industry right now is in such a... There's very little good new music that I listen to.
If it's not Adele, I don't listen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This
disturbingly like pretty accurate. Though.
I know. Like I realized that's when I realized I was getting old. I'm like I can't listen to this shit. To say just the music industry now is like then I have to take a step back and I'm like, if I like how did I look at music when I was in the 80s and in the 90s and stuff like that, right? What is music now? That's the question I keep asking myself. I haven't got the answer yet, but I'm like, what is music now? What does it mean?
What does it represent?
And what does it represent? So that's what I'm like. Especially popular music, because there's a lot of good music out there that's new, but like, but you're not gonna find it on the top 20 list. So
I watched
for me personally anyway though.
No, I think you're right. Because I don't feel it anymore. Like if it's not honest, like biased, obviously we are to Muse, because like Muse is great.
Okay, yeah.
If the hip was still around, obviously anything new they put out,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna be buying it because that's just the way my brain works. But like when it comes to new music, I really don't care. Like I said, the Adele thing I just said, it's a joke, but there's a reality to it. I think she's got a great voice.
Oh yeah, Adele's
her music
awesome.
is incredibly well produced. It's well written. It's fun to listen to the good stuff. And her, post breakup-y kind of shit is like, oh, there's a little bit of a drag.
Adele's awesome.
But it's great in the background.
The Weeknd is awesome.
The Weeknd is really good.
Yeah.
But that's it. Yeah. Like, I can't think of anything else I would do. And then I was watching the SNL. I'd never heard of her before. But goddamn, her is incredibly well... She's talented. Yeah. Really, like, she played a guitar solo that knocked my ass off. It was really good.
Yeah, I think now it's like there's...
but that's rare.
Yeah, like it's very... I should say, like, actually, a lot of good music now that comes out for me anyway is like where there's no lyrics, so people they're just making music.
EDM.
Yeah.
You're a big EDM guy.
Is that is that electronic dance music?
Yeah. Well,
I hate that shit.
Not just that, but I mean, but you're right. Like ambient sounds and
yeah, like even like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Yeah.
Alejandro Cortini. There's
Cortini's.
Yeah.
Quite great.
Yeah, I just got into him like maybe 3 years ago.
Really?
And
I feel like you mentioned that recently.
Yeah, and I think my cousin Gertage and my friend Jason, and Paul, my brother, they got me into it, and it's amazing. Just like you want to sit down and just relax and just hear like with like good sound, like good speakers or good headphones, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like you want to like just really listen to the music. It's amazing stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good like new age, not new age, but new orchestrated music, like new composers.
Yeah,
that are like our version of the masters they're out there now.
Yeah, there's so much, and plus if you want to go on, and even people who are just on YouTube when they just want to make their own music with synthesizers and stuff like that, there's so much good music out there.
Like who's the dude who did the Monster soundtrack? He did, like there was that movie Monsters.
Is that the one with what's her face?
No. There's it's Scoot McNairy and his wife. He plays a reporter who's sent to Mexico to bring back the publisher's daughter.
Oh, that yeah.
And there's the quarantine zone in Mexico. Craig Armstrong. Yeah, he did the soundtrack for that. And that was when I realized that like I'm into this now. And that like that you're saying when you heard Cortini, you're like this. I'm into this now.
Yeah, it's yeah. There's the thing is too is that you have to like really set some time, like set some time and actually just like a lot, like maybe like a couple of hours and just sit back and just listen to it because it's yeah, music is healing, especially now in these days. Like it's just. You're like, oh, I can't, nothing to do. There's nothing to watch. Like Netflix is bled out. Amazon Prime is bled out. Just listen to music.
I can't watch Community again. I can't go through another season of Community.
Yeah, it's weird. Like
the third time I've got all the Easter eggs now. I'm done.
Yeah, I think that was the turning point for me. Where it's like I'm not gonna watch anything anymore. I'm just gonna listen and read and just I find that's more healing for me.
Yeah, that's the way to go. I hadn't sat down and plugged in like a real good playlist and just put headphones on and listen to it in a long time. And like during the first chunk of quarantine, after I'd done that bleed out, somebody put some, like it might have been on a podcast or something where somebody mentioned like, when's the last time you just put your headphones on, turn the lights off, and just listen to some music and maybe passed out. I just fell asleep. So I did it. Listened to a bunch of old stuff that I had on a playlist on my on Apple. So I had my old iPod sitting next to the bed. I dug it out and I plugged it in. I listened to stuff that I used to listen to probably about 10 years ago. And man, it felt so nice to just have your headphones on and almost like meditate.
Yeah.
And just listen to stuff that you wanted to listen to or that you enjoyed. A lot of like Craig Armstrong, some older stuff, Dead Mouse, just things that really made you feel good.
Yeah.
And then you just like, it's like kind of like it's a healing meditative state you put yourself into.
I think so. It's very good to like really, just you don't really need to, feel obligated to spend time with people, whereas you can just just spend time with yourself and just let yourself, especially especially these times, just to relax and just heal by yourself.
Just don't care about humans.
Yeah, just
relax.
Yeah.
Listen to music.
What's that line? I always use. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely.
Oh yeah. That's a huge difference.
Things, yeah.
Do you always use that?
I always use that.
Do you?
Yeah.
I always say don't point out a yellow stain or a mustard stain on a yellow shirt.
That's a good one.
Yeah. That is. I didn't realize how much that became my catchphrase until people around me started pointing it out when things would happen.
Yeah.
Like never point out a mustard stain on a yellow shirt.
Or what about don't point out bloody stains on red panties.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Bring me my red shirt.
Yeah. There's a reason why I said that.
Oh, so that's an inside joke for somebody out there who's probably cringing right now?
Maybe some people on the listeners will know what I'm talking about, but you'll find out soon.
I will?
Oh yeah.
Oh, there. I get what you mean. Very nice. That's pretty good. I was talking to a friend of mine about cameras and bars. I think we did this last time. Cameras and bars in 2020 compared to 2004.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we did.
God, we used to get away with murder back then.
I sound like a dirty old man when I laugh like that.
A flight of stairs. I didn't understand a joke once from Anchorman, and I launched a kid once because they were fighting upstairs in a bar we worked at. And that's what came up with that. And then he's like, man, like back then they didn't have cameras in bars. I'm like, both ways. You know, you wouldn't get people doing their stupid shenanigans back then. Like, you know, if that fight had happened in 2020, before we got there, there's probably already 4 angles happening. Then we would have jumped in, and then the kid would have taken a swing like he did, and then he would have said his line from a movie, and then I would have thought it was an insult. It would have gotten filmed, and I wouldn't have realized he was just like reciting a line from Anchorman, the whole big deal thing. And I wouldn't have done one of these, and he probably wouldn't have tumbled. And
I'm hoping that Anchorman 2 was not done by script. I don't think it was.
Anchorman 2?
Yeah.
So.
And let me clarify.
Clarify first. Get through your thought first.
Okay, because I saw the outtakes for Anchorman 2.
Okay.
And they are some of the funniest things I've ever seen Will Ferrell do.
On Anchorman 2?
Oh, yeah. It was hilarious. Like there's
really?
Where he's talking about... everyone knows this. I'm pretty sure everyone who's listening to this has heard this. Is like when he's talking to the boys and he goes... he had a wet dream too. Like he had a dream about the syrup lady.
Yeah, the bottle.
The bottle. And he's like, yeah, she got me there like the Express A train. Bing bang boom. He's like, and they show a picture of. Then they show the scene cuts to. Then the camera cuts to what's his face? Paul Rudd. And he's looking at him. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. Yeah. He's like, this reminds me of the time when I pledged myself to Mrs. Buttersworth. She got me there like the Express A train. Bing bang boom. Talk about a river of ejaculate.
A river of ejaculate.
And Paul Rudd's laughing his ass off, and he's sitting there. He goes, a volume that I've never seen before. It's like, now I know what the villagers of Pompeii felt like.
Oh wow, that is expressive.
Yeah, like, and then Paul Rudd's just dying laughing, and he goes, except where they had like hot lava thrown upon them, I smothered those poor villagers with frothy ejaculate.
Frothy, good lord.
Steve Kerr, you can hear in the background all the guys are
Just
laughing.
losing their shit, right?
And he's just making up on the spot.
I've seen Anchorman 2. Didn't think it was funny.
I thought, yeah, because I thought that was funnier than the actual
Probably,
movie.
right?
Yeah,
I mean,
those are just the outtakes. Yeah,
The outtakes are probably way better than the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think it was that funny.
no, the first one is hands down better.
And I have not seen Anchorman.
You haven't seen the first one?
I have not seen Anchorman. I have not seen Old School. Something else out there that I keep taking shit for not having seen. Strangler.
Oh shit! Fine. I don't want to give you any shit then.
Strangler. I still haven't seen Saving Private Ryan.
You haven't seen Saving Private Ryan?
I have never sat through more than 3 seconds of Saving Private Ryan. I haven't seen the movie
really?
at all. I haven't seen the beginning. I haven't seen the middle.
Actually, no. You know what? I'm not saying anything because
I haven't seen the ending.
There's movies the classic movies I still haven't seen.
Yeah, I don't know why, man. And it's not like I'm avoiding it. I know it's good.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. I think I still have his copy sitting here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I just have never sat through. And it's not for a lack of trying. I feel like it's one of those things where I keep telling myself, like, you gotta do this, man. Like, sit down and actually watch this thing like an adult properly. Give it the reverence it deserves. And I just like never give it the time.
Well, the thing is, like, there's I'll say this about Saving Private Ryan. The first scene is amazing.
I've heard this.
Like storming the beaches, that's amazing. But as the movie progresses, there's no like, you don't see scenes where like you're like, wow, like that's crazy, like that, like that never.
Well, it's not an action movie.
It's a war movie, but at the same time, there's no real, it just doesn't hold its like that first scene where you're like, holy shit, I'm like, like you're in the movie, you're like, holy shit, this is what it felt like being there. And when the movie progresses, it kind of loses that, like as the movie goes there. And like, I don't want to.
That's fine.
And I don't want to like come down on people who like are
who are nuts about it.
Who are nuts about it. That's totally fine, but it doesn't like after that, you're just like, hey, here's a war where they're trying to find this guy, and and you just lose characters left and right, and which is sad, but like. I don't know, like there's no scenes where like it keeps you in the movie. That was
really?
That was me anyway. Yeah, but
now I've not heard anybody.
But I'm the opposite of that. Of the people who actually really liked it, probably because I saw much more of those scenes in Dunkirk.
Oh, in Dunkirk, I thought you were gonna say I was a Thin Red Line guy because that's what it feels like.
Thin Red Line is an excellent. That's totally honest. That's totally true. I love Thin Red Line.
There are Thin Red Line people, and there are Saving Private Ryan people, and there are people who like them both for different reasons. But Thin Red Line people generally are not Saving Private Ryan people.
Yeah, because Thin Red Line is more character driven.
Yes.
Then Saving Private Ryan is more spectacle driven.
Do you think Adrian Brody is a Saving Private Ryan people?
It could be. Yeah.
I think Adrian Brody is like, you know what? I'm a Saving Private Ryan guy.
Yeah.
Screw this. Yeah. Look that up, you people out there.
Yeah.
Look up Adrian Brody Thin Red Line, and you'll know why he's a he's a Saving Private Ryan people.
Yeah, because like I think the opening scene like is because it goes like this, like, and then like the rest of the movie, I found like it's a great movie. It's so well made, but like it doesn't. For a war movie, I was like, if I had to watch both again, I would hands down. I'd rather watch Apocalypse Now.
I think, well, that's a.
I'd rather watch.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, or I'd rather watch. It's another one.
Dunkirk.
I'd rather watch Dunkirk. I'd rather watch
1917.
I haven't seen that yet, actually.
Really?
No, I haven't seen that.
I kind of dabbled in the game of 1917.
You dipped your toe into the 1917.
Yeah, I rented it and didn't watch it. I just kind of skipped around. I did the thing where you get.
Was it you who were telling me that you didn't want to watch it anyway because they had that continuous cinematography that was going on in it?
Yeah, I'm not a big
That was
fan
you,
of it.
right?
I mean, I've said it. I don't know if I'm the one who said it to you, but
I think you're the only one who I talked about this
yeah,
movie.
something about that. Like that's why I kind of like I wanted to like quickly do a couple scenes and see what's going on there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like when it came to Birdman,
That was my next question.
okay. So Birdman really maybe it's the setting, right? Mm-hmm. The environment they're in, but I felt like Birdman was remember Mad Magazine, where you would look at the cover. Then you open the first page up, and right away there's just something on every single, like every page had some kind of eye candy on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, it's like everything.
Yeah.
Like everything is set to look for your eyes to see something new every time. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't feel like that with 1917.
Yeah,
I felt like we're just like it's just a technical display of what they can do.
yeah. I think there's. I think with Saving Private Ryan is like it told a story. Mm-hmm. In one of the most traumatic events in human history. But so the first scene...
That's a good point.
The first scene shocks you, but the rest of the movie is like Matt Damon's character. Like you're going through all this stuff to save Private Ryan.
Yeah.
And you're just like... I was like... At the end of the movie, I was like... that was a well-made movie, but I was like, I'm never going to watch that again.
Yeah.
Like
that little douche?
Yeah, exactly. Like Platoon... I could watch that again.
Oh, you can watch. Oh, holy shit!
Yeah, because the thing is, like with Platoon, like Dunkirk, you can watch that on a cinematic level. Mm-hmm. You know, because every shot you see is a masterpiece.
Yeah, no, Dunkirk again, like,
but I can understand why people are not big fans of the movie because there's no character development, right?
Yes,
which is totally fair. But you look at like Apocalypse Now, there's so many things. If as a war movie you can enjoy it. From a director standpoint, you can enjoy it.
There's levels to this shit.
There's so many levels to it, and just how insane it is.
Yeah.
The acting is incredible.
And if you know anything about the source material,
yeah, it's and the development of the movie, what it went through to get that movie made, the source material. Yeah, you're right. There's so, and then if you look at Platoon, it's a completely character driven movie.
Character driven, and if you know anything about the source material,
it's
like
incredible.
If you realize this is coming from like somebody's experiences, who's now taking those experiences, writing about them. And then directing a film where he's trying to find somebody who looks and feels like him to give you an idea of what he went through.
Yeah.
Like, it's bananas.
Yeah, and I think that I get, like, kind of a lot of flack for, like, not a flack, but, like, people say, like, I only watch, like, I enjoy older movies better.
You're a snob?
Well, the thing is, like, now it's, like, movies are just, they're more catered towards, like, what does the audience want to see? And they kind of give into, like, what the audience wants.
Yeah.
And good or bad. And so they say, no, we need to have more, there has to be more of this in there. It has to be more of a representation of this community or whatever it is, right? I'm like no one can just make a movie anymore.
No,
it's very rare.
No, they're all like engineered.
Or they just end up making the same movie
to make money.
Yeah, so like there's no you rarely see a movie that's made from scratch, an original idea that doesn't cater to anybody. And just comes out and it stands on its own legs.
Yeah.
So you rarely see that. Like on a big scale, you could. What's
the last one that was original enough for you? Like, you thought of yourself like in recent memory that you're like, this is super original.
The first one I can think of right now is Tenet.
Oh, that's a good. See, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But that's a good call. I see why.
No.
Yeah.
Just an original idea.
Split. That's the last thing I can think of, and that's like everybody
Split
shits on M. Night Shyamalan so much.
Have you seen Split?
Yeah, but I saw that and I was like, God grief, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get it. It's a kidnap movie, but like this dude, like you just respect James McAvoy so much more after watching that.
Yeah,
the guy is he's brilliant.
I love that guy. He's a great
brilliant.
actor. Yeah,
And you watch that movie and you just want to go do a bunch of push-ups. Like, look what the scrawny Professor X just did.
Exactly.
Got jacked.
Yeah, so I think there's
room for originality.
There is, yeah, but
it's a risk.
It's a risk because you have to work because everyone's running about like what's my return on investment for this movie.
Exactly.
And so like there's a risk versus reward system in Hollywood right now.
Well, obviously, look at if there wasn't, we'd have 3 more Hellboys from Del Toro.
Easily, yeah, easily.
Right?
Yeah.
You'd have more Shyamalan movies, but I mean, you've got these like new institutions in place that are designed to keep these guys down. Really, they are. To keep creativity down. Like Rotten Tomatoes. Anything creative comes out, Rotten Tomatoes like, snap, thumbs down, fart sound.
No. This
is bullshit, I want to watch it. But anything a studio wants, they pump up, and they bring it up, and it's like, oh, this is brilliant. Anything, any kind of inclusion-driven studio bullshit, they thumbs up the hell out of that thing.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, there's because it's all about like, it's all about studio survival. That's
Yep.
pretty much what it is. So if you look at if they're making a tentpole movie or they're making a movie that they're throwing a lot of money at, they're thinking 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
So they're saying, okay, you know what, we're gonna make this movie, but can we repeat the success of this movie? Can we make a sequel, even if it doesn't warrant a sequel? But let's see if this movie can stand on its own legs, so we can make more money out of it,
Yeah.
right? So there's very few original idea movies that really make an impact on the movie going public. I find anyway.
No, you're right. It's the system too, man. Like I'll tell you the exact moment when I lost all faith in the studios, in movies, in Hollywood, like big Hollywood in general, was when Stallone didn't win for Creed. When he got the Golden Globe, but instead you had that one sniffly actor, that Mark Rylance, win for Bridge of Spies, and Stallone didn't win for Creed.
Yeah.
Because Spielberg needed an Oscar winner for the BFG.
Yeah.
And the BFG did nothing. It box office bomb. It was stupid, but they needed an Oscar winner on the marquee, Academy Award winner Mark Rylance as the BFG.
Exactly. Like I told you, like they are all they're doing is just planning ahead.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
I mean, like the system was gamed from the start. They came in there. They probably had all sorts of backdoor deals. Like, you vote for my guy, I'll vote for your guy. Because that's what it is. Like the Oscars mean nothing. Like they mean nothing. That's why everybody getting up in arms about the inclusion writers being put into Oscars now.
Oh, fuck.
It's like they have to have this, they gotta have this, and they gotta have that, and everybody's like, well, it's gonna kill creativity. It's like, no, go and make decent movies and don't give a shit about the Oscars.
Yeah.
Do not care about the awards, because all those awards are gamed to keep like Spielberg with an Oscar winner.
Yeah.
Or like Stallone. You're telling me Stallone doesn't have a better or more memorable experience or performance than Mark Rylance?
Yeah.
In Bridges, like, does anybody remember Bridge of Spies? Because
no one does. Great. Yeah, it was terrible.
Tom Hanks is okay, and the movie sucked.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, it's just a what's it called? It's a reinforcement of my ideas that the system is broken and it's garbage and nobody needs it.
Yeah. No. It's, you're not alone. Everyone.
Yeah. So who cares?
Who cares?
Like, who cares about the Oscars? When's the last time anybody watched the Oscars?
Yeah.
No. Gave a shit about them at all.
Yeah. There's a reason why Ricky Gervais shits on it all the time.
It's
So
brilliant. God, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Back to comedy. Hey, we had a callback again. Doing a lot of those these days. What else we got here? Let's see some stuff that has less rage, less. Oh yeah, I got this thing where, like, when I hear people say the word snowballed, like on American TV, not really snowballed. In my mind, they don't have snow in America. Like, I don't know why. I keep thinking like there's no real, like, they don't really know.
Well, yeah, I guess it's part of the lexicon where it's like you say like, oh, it started from here. That is when it snowballed downhill from here.
It all snowballed downhill. In my mind, when I hear an American say certain phrases that they rightfully should or would say, I'm like, how would you know? So I'm going to talk about it was really cold this winter.
Do you think Canada should make an effort to own that phrase?
Yes.
I think we should.
Yeah. So that was a weird thing that happened today. Like, what are other things like when they say things like a dog-eared a book page, obviously they have that.
Mm-hmm.
But when they talk about maple syrup or pancakes, in my mind, Americans don't eat pancakes.
They eat flapjacks.
They eat flapjack. Well, not even. Like, even that, right? Like, Peter Parker ate wheat cakes.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, they don't have waffles and pancakes. They don't have ham. They don't eat bacon. Like, this just doesn't exist over there. I know, like, to them, they're like, those are things that, like, that obviously exist over there.
Like a lumberjack breakfast.
A lumberjack breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are certain things that just don't exist in my mind in America.
Yeah. But then again, Denny's took ownership of that, basically.
It really did.
Yeah.
Denny's took the lumberjack. Like, lumberjacks. In my mind, Paul Bunyan is Canadian. And they don't have lumberjacks in America.
Well, the thing is that they have such a rich history of the Midwest.
They do.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yes.
Like Washington, and also like Washington State and Oregon and all that. It's Canada. Like, in my head, that's all Canadian.
Yeah, because they're not, because you know why? Because they're not influenced by the coasts.
True.
So they're kind of landlocked. So they don't have the influence unless whatever they see on TV, right? But the lifestyle is very it's not as it doesn't explode like if you live on the West Coast or like in the East Coast and stuff like that. So it's very simple in there.
Well, that's like
that's why the population is very Spartan. It's like it's very like it's there's teardrops all over the place where people live, and they're not they don't form communities that well.
No, they don't get along well.
No,
we don't take kindly to strangers around here.
Yeah, because they
I do that voice a lot.
well, they have sex with each other. So.
Oh, as long as you're my cousin, I'll take out. Are we related? Oh no, get
Yeah,
busy.
yeah, the American version of the people who live in Kazakhstan.
I was talking about to I can't remember who, maybe to you, about the last time I went to the States. I was in Dallas last year around this time.
Yeah.
And then, when you're in Texas, I love Texas. It's one of my favorite places in the world. I really enjoy it out there. I got my family's down there. I've got like some extended family down there, so I get to like see a lot of the country out there. I really like quite a bit. But it's a very rare when you're out there to really see like a down home Texan with a cowboy hats and the QQ. Like, you don't really see that too much.
Yeah, you have to go like outside of the suburban areas.
You kind of do, right? But then, like, the second you're in Calgary, it's all cowboy hats and yeehaw! Like, the second you land, it's just a bunch of people wearing cowboy hats. I'm like, you people are the cartoon version of what you think Texas is.
Well, do you think it's more like that happens during Stampede?
No, this wasn't Stampede. This was October. I came back in this November.
Okay, because I didn't see it in Calgary, but I was mountain biking the whole place.
Yeah,
I didn't really see it.
You get in the airport, and to them, it's just like cowboy boots and hats. We got ropes and steers and all that stuff.
Holy crap!
Like,
I've never actually been to the Calgary airport.
Really?
Because I always drive there.
It's a cartoon.
I was just drive there and I drive back. So
you heard it here first, Calgary. You're a cartoon to me. God, I despise Calgary.
I do love Calgary as a city though. It's such a nice city.
Yeah, if you're into Calgary.
But they don't have the river valley that we do.
No, 8 times bigger than Central Park.
Yeah.
Edmonton's River Valley is the largest in inner city parkland in North America, I think the world.
Yeah.
The biggest.
It's the biggest.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. It's
and you don't think it's pretty, it's probably because you're from Calgary.
Yeah. And if you live in Edmonton, go in the River Valley.
Oh.
Go for a run, go for a bike ride, whatever it is.
You don't have to tell
fly your drone, whatever it is.
We all hey, speaking of drone, before I shit on, Calgary more. The Mavic Mini 2, you see how some dude walking to Best Buy and is on display, so we bought it?
Yep.
4K, and he uses OcuSync. So I'm pretty glad I didn't shell out the big bucks on the Mini 1. Because OcuSync is where it's at.
Yeah. I think mine has it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it has it.
I'm pretty sure everything but the Mini had it. The Spark might have not had it, but maybe it did, because I think it did have like a longer range. So the OcuSync is essentially like it's like a tri-band Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
So it uses Wi-Fi and radio signals.
Of course, yeah. What are we talking about? Of course, mine has it.
Yeah, because you can do the 10K.
Yeah.
So you have like the 10 kilometer distance.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure the only one that didn't have it was the Mini, and now it does, which is just game changer type material right there.
Did they change? How much does it weigh? Is it still
Same thing.
249?
It's all the same. The only thing that it changed is the 4K in the camera. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think some people had learned how to unlock the 4K in the current Mini's camera, but it wouldn't have mattered because it didn't have OcuSync. So I mean, well, it matters clearly because you get 4K images. But the OcuSync really is a game changer when it comes to...
Does it have the same sensor that the Mavic Air 2 has?
No, it's almost identical to the Mini 1.
Oh, okay.
Except now it's got OcuSync.
Okay, cool.
And 4K.
That's awesome.
Which is huge.
When is that coming out?
I believe it's soon, because this dude walked into a Best Buy yesterday and picked
So it'll
them
be
up.
available for Christmas then?
I think so.
Okay,
I think it's going to be available. And he had the box that had the big pack. It's got like the guards on it and the 3 batteries. I believe the price is going to be the same too, because they dropped the price on the Mini 1, right? So...
Yeah, I think I might take mine out tomorrow. It's supposed to be really warm.
I believe this week is looking good.
Yeah, so I think I might, after I work out tomorrow, I think I might just go out to just shoot around.
After you hit the gym and get those reps,
get the reps in.
Clang and bang.
Yeah.
How's the workout going?
Good. I'm switching it up. I have 2 different workouts. So I just one day do this, one day do that one. So one of it's
That's good.
Yeah. So one of it is I do like push-ups, sit-ups, planks, and then I hit the bag, and then after that, then I do 20 minutes on the why is my brain not working?
This is for anybody who's not watching this on YouTube.
What is it? It's don't tell me. Don't tell me.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, it's on the what's that thing called?
The circle jerker? I don't know. Like you did 2 things.
The one where
the rowing machine?
The rowing machine, yes. Okay.
All right.
My rower, yeah.
On your rower. You know why you couldn't remember it? Because it's the R's. 2 R's together.
Yeah, it's the rowing machine, yeah. So then
I try to say rural road?
Yeah. So and then I finished off with the rower. That's my so that's one, and then after that the next day will be same thing, push-ups, it'll be push-ups, planks, planks, and then after that, then I hit the I do bench, arm curls with my curling bar, and then I have a lat pull down thing, so that
Nice.
I use that, and then those are my two workouts, and
That's
then
pretty good.
Yeah, and then at least fit in like if not a run, then at least like a 2-mile walk, like right after I eat, so it's a warm up. So
That's pretty good. That's not too bad.
yeah, so that'll
digest all that food.
that'll I just have something like maybe like a small bowl of oatmeal. Wait 20 minutes, and then I let it digest. Go for my run or go for my walk. Come back and then start hitting it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then afterwards, just eat proper protein shakes. And then I have that melatonin Vega drink.
Melatonin Vega drink.
Yeah, it's like a it's a post workout drink, but you can take it at night. And when you take it, it has
Just mellows you out pretty good, huh?
well, actually, it has non-addictive melatonin in it. So what you can do, you just take a drink. And it's like I think it's 19 grams of protein, and then you just take that, and then you just and then after that you're out. Like you're out. I took it and I was out.
I'd imagine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, 19. How much is the pellet? What's the melatonin quantity in that thing?
3 grams.
3 grams.
Yeah.
So we're not talking.
I believe it's
here.
3 grams. Yeah.
We're not talking no John Jones picogram bullshit over here. This is
No.
like the good stuff.
Yeah. So it's and I say I'm on Canadian protein right now.
Yeah, you've been in that brand for a
It's
bit,
good,
right?
yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, you were a big believer in those guys, like pretty early on.
I've got to finish it off. So it's good so far. I like it, and then after that, I have to finish off my Vega tub, and then
Not too bad.
I'll be out. And then
I'm still doing the Vega in the morning, and just like a bunch
That's
of
good.
oatmeal mixed right into it. I've really liked it quite a bit. I like it a lot.
I switched to Orgain.
Orgain,
Yeah. But
right?
it's same
like
thing.
Vega Organic or Orgain as a
It's called
brand.
or-
I thought you're just being clever.
Oh, it's called Orgain.
Orgain.
Or as in, it's
ORGAN.
yeah. So basically, it's certified organic.
Yeah.
And but with Vega, it's like Vega's already so clean.
Yeah,
it's like
it's
how much
really
how much
clean.
more clean do you want it?
No.
I like this one because it is cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
And you get 2 kilograms of it, but you can find it in Superstore as well. But sadly have to get it from Amazon, which I hate because I
right.
do not like Amazon. So
I
Put
mean,
it here.
it is the devil you know. But I've been using Kaizen for like the last year or so, and I just
Kaizen's a staple.
it's a staple, man. I
Yeah.
always used to like it before.
Mm-hmm.
I came back and now it's got stevia, and it's I use the pea protein and the whey.
Do you find the stevia is enough?
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I don't really care too much for like a super sweet shake anyway.
Yeah.
And then with that, sometimes like every now and then, I'll throw a bunch of mangoes and some honey and like a little bit of yogurt in there and make like a real nice like shake just for fun.
What yogurt do you use?
We make our own yogurt.
Okay.
Yeah, we make our yogurt
Oh,
here.
that's
So.
good.
We make our yogurt around these parts.
Around these parts.
Around these parts, we.
I guess I should. Yeah, I'd buy it. I use
Well,
Skier.
you used to make your own skier, right?
Yeah, I use Skier. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why because that stuff is it's so protein packed. It's sickening.
Yeah, no, that's some heavy stuff.
Yeah, it's like almost 20 grams of protein per serving. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's intense. It
Yeah.
is the protein it's your whey protein.
Yeah, and it's so I just like the consistency of it. It's very creamy and stuff like that. If you just want to take if you need a quick protein shot, just take 2 bites of it.
Well, it's the kind of thing like when you put your spoon in it, the indentation of your spoon is still in the cup.
It's still in the cup. Yeah,
I love that, bro.
I was doing today.
When it makes a sound and you pull it out.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, you take
Friggin-
you take 1 dollop out, and it's like it's
I love that. I've only had it a few times. Like I bought the stuff from the store. Mm-hmm. I haven't made my own skier yet. Like you make your own skier.
Yeah, you can make it. It's
Yeah.
easy, it's very easy to make. But especially if you have the Instapot that you have. I
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
But like it's very easy to make. But sometimes like we have 2 fridges,
Oh yeah, it's
and so I'm
lot
like
of fridges.
where the hell am I? One is mine, and so I'm like where the hell am I gonna?
we're gonna pack this stuff.
We're gonna pack this stuff because I just keep it. I keep my fridge packed with like everything I need.
I find like we've got the new freezer downstairs now, and I've got the freezer upstairs, obviously fridge freezer.
Yeah.
But like I thought getting a new freezer would take the load off the old freezer, and now I just have more stuff in both freezers.
Yeah.
And they're just like loaded now.
Yeah. And-
How?
And the thing is, like, you when I one time I really said, like, I'm going to stack with everything I need.
Yeah.
But then when you start working out, you feel like, okay, I have to keep feeding myself, right? But then you realize, like, how much do I actually really need to eat?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, man.
Yeah.
Like I know guys who work out and they do like the full dozen eggs after like a day kind of a thing, and like the full chicken and all that kind of crap. And I think, look, man, I've always been a snake diet guy. I have one big protein meal at night. I have a mixed bag of nuts and vegetables all day. Not a lot of protein all day at all. And then at night I have my one gigantic meal.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't feel low on energy. I think I feel fine. I work out hard. I'm not skinny. I'm not a little tiny guy. So do I really need to have a dozen eggs? I'm at 40s. I'm doing pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I found that if I don't have a really healthy meal in the morning, like if I have like maybe like a really like
a half-assed
like kind of like I'll give you an example. Like on Friday, on Saturday morning, I had I started from my cousin's house. He made quiche fresh, and then we had pancakes.
Yeah, quiche on Friday.
Yeah,
we had quiche on Friday.
Yeah, and
How weird is that?
Yeah, so we had quiche with pancakes, and so yeah, it's delicious.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, and it was awesome, but I found that as soon as I went home, I didn't eat that much.
Yeah.
And I had tons of quiche, and I had maybe 5 pancakes, but when I got home, I was like I felt weak. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta put something in my system.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna faint.
You didn't have enough.
I didn't have enough, and I was like, but I couldn't eat any more of that food.
Yeah.
I was stuffed. But then when I got home, I'm like, oh my god, around 5 o'clock, I was like, I need to put something in my system. So I made myself some just some quick omelet and a piece of toast. And I was like, okay, but maybe have I trained my body that it needs protein first thing in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Or it needs something I need oats in the morning, or I need a protein shake. But I need something in the morning. So when that happened, I was like, holy crap! I'm like, what if I train my body to feed off of? So,
yeah. Well, I mean, very likely it's one of those. I think everybody's different, obviously. I mean, I don't have the I could be one of those things where now I've trained myself to where I don't have big spikes and dips in my insulin. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty stable.
Yeah.
So maybe, and then there are people out there who need to have a lot more. Maybe there are people out there whose metabolism is a lot faster than mine too.
Oh yeah.
So that's why they're eating that.
Yeah, because I have
dozen eggs.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I'll get up in the morning. I don't have to eat anything until 1.
Maybe they're just a baby. I don't know. Maybe you gotta just you gotta look at your diet and eat 5 times a day because you're a big baby. I don't know. Friggin', that's a personal problem with a friend of mine. So that's not a you issue. Here's a question. Now, this is off topic. Oh, hey, but let's stay on topic for 1 second. So, my mom, I've got I work out. I have my whole thing where it's weight training, resistance training one day, and then cardio the next day. My cardio is generally a high intensity program. Mm-hmm. So little by little, my mom was more and more interested in getting into some real hard cardio workout. She's always been somebody who trains. She trains quite a bit. Mm-hmm. 71 years old. She's pretty intense for her age group.
She's in great shape.
Yeah, in great shape for her age. But she wanted to do more high intensity stuff. So I got her onto a modified version of my high intensity program. So I will do about 40 minutes. It ends up being 8 to 10 rounds of push-ups, planks for a minute between between sets of push-ups, lunges, squats, dumbbell lifts, kettlebell throws, a couple get-ups, just a whole thing for over about 40 minutes. It's a good burn. And then she'll do that, and I'll go do the rest of my stuff. And it's one of those deals. But she's getting bored. She's getting not bored, but it was the same we have, I'd say, 4 different sets, and they all modify. But generally, it all does the same deal. So now on the opposite days, because I got the Switch, so I picked her up that Ring Fit Adventure, the Ring Adventure thing with that. That's why I had it sitting over there. It's got the band that you have to press, it's a circle. Yep. It's a tension circle.
I think my dad has something like that.
Yeah, it's basically a plyometric exercise.
Yeah.
So I was talking a lot of shit about the old Ring Fit Adventure, saying this will be good for you, Ma. You're 70 years old. Just give it a try. See how this goes. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, when nobody's watching, I'll turn it on and I'll do the Ring Fit Adventure. And that Ring Fit Adventure whooped my ass. It's actually pretty intensive. It didn't whoop my ass, but it will really, if you're somebody who does not work out and you're trying to get into something fun to do, highly recommend that.
Okay.
It is really something. You do a jogging routine, it's got a full set, a full suite of workouts catered towards people who have moderate to no or 0 to moderate experience working out, and then from moderate to hardcore, and it will run you through it.
Oh, cool!
It'll do from squats to it's got a whole plyometric chest exercise. The only thing it doesn't really do is there's no resistance for back or tries.
Okay.
So you do have to add.
But those are so specific anyway.
They're pretty specific, so you have to add those things in yourself. You have to do something to bring those in.
I'll just.
But
you'll be able to buy the couch. Just do some
Yeah,
raises.
you can do dips. You can easily do
yeah.
dips. You can bring things into the routine to pause the workout it'll put you on, and at the same time put that aside and start doing some stuff for your tries.
Yeah.
To get yourself into a wide range of workouts. So not really a lot of resistance for your back. Some stuff it does, not the best, but better than nothing.
Yeah.
So if you're somebody who doesn't work out at all, it will snap you into a mindset to work out. You can set alarms. This is not an ad for this at all, but I'm just saying, like, it was more surprising than I expected it to be. Cool. I expected to be like slightly surprised by it, but I was
Good old Nintendo.
Good on Nintendo, man. Like, they legitimately put together a system that will make you work out and get a sweat.
Cool.
It's you should probably, if you're thinking about it, anybody who is thinking about working out, YouTube that and take a look. The Ring Fit
I'll
Adventure.
check that out.
Yeah, I was really impressed by it. So,
question
to end off on,
okay.
I guess. Did you grow up in a house that was funny? Like, did you guys have a hard emphasis on like comedy and laughter, and telling jokes, telling stories, or was it like just incidental things that happened that were like funny? Like when things happen around your house, was it more like, oh, it was funny, or was there like a real attempt at like telling fun stories and jokes and like real comedy?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah?
and the reason being is that I think it started with maybe this is where I get it from, but it was my dad.
Yeah,
because my dad is like he's a great storyteller.
Yeah.
Like he'll tell you stories. Like I'm not sure like it's the way he tells them, but you will laugh like just because either the way he sets it up or the way he finishes it off. You're just like, okay, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
And
he's got an ability to like deliver, like craft a story.
Yeah, like
and drop a punchline.
Yeah, back in the day, my dad was like, so like he would he would definitely make us laugh, and then and comedy was like watching comedy shows was a big thing in our house. So like we always used to like gather around. We'd watch like TGIF and all those things. So like the comedy was like it was good thing that brought us all together. I would say. I would say that.
Yeah. No, see,
Did you?
Well, yeah, no, we did. Like very similar. Like my grandmother was a storyteller. She could like put together a punchline.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to add to that is that my grandfather always kept it loose too when he was around. Yeah.
So it wasn't like it was from the top down.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't just like your dad was funny and told jokes. Like it was crafted from like grandparent level into your parents' level now into you.
Yeah.
And like obviously because you enjoy stand up. Yeah, and you've mentioned like your dad has been watching Bill Burr, and now he enjoys that as well.
Yeah,
right?
One thing we would all watch together was Evening at the Improv.
Yeah, because that he has cable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we were Comedy Now people. Well, we were comedy on CTV people.
CTV, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you watched that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and Super Dave.
And Super Dave,
obviously,
yeah, Super Dave we watched that too.
Oh, everybody watched Super Dave. For us, that was
Perfect
one of those
Strangers.
things. Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
But more the crafting of like comedy. So I was trying to think more about, because like. I've got this idea of the whole birds of a feather thing, right? Like if your personality wasn't like that, would we get along as friends the same way? Like would there have been a click? Because this clicked pretty fast. You being on the podcast are real like right in there, right? And some people have been in and out and just not quite the same. Like they don't get into it.
Yeah.
Whereas like that's what I think. Like how many people do I know who are really into that, like crafting a joke and telling a joke and just that, like being very jovial, or like maybe working on a bit about something.
Well, people
sneaking in bits in the conversation.
Well, some people are afraid to like come out and say like in public. I guess it's like if you want to call this in public. Whereas like they would be afraid to like say something and like
to craft a joke.
How's that going to come off? Is like are they going to laugh at this?
Yeah, but you have to try.
But you have to try. Like I've never. I think maybe to a fault I do this is that I kind of laugh. I kind of laugh like. At things when it's like I just laugh. I'm just like, oh, I found that situation funny.
You are a chuckler.
Yeah, so I think I do that. Okay, I'll say this: I'm guilty of that.
You are guilty of finding the comedy in situations, which is nothing to be guilty of.
Yeah, I just laugh, and I'm like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a twitch I have. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I think it's one of those things where some people can like find, and I don't mean like you'll laugh or you'll cry. Like I don't mean that by any means. Where it's like you got to find the comedy in something, otherwise you're gonna be depressed. I don't mean that.
But also, I think that there's also a sense where like I watch so much stand-up comedy that I try to, when I'm telling a joke to someone, I tell like I'm telling it to an audience.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah. But I think like because I do this, if something's absurd, I'll see the absurdity in it, Okay, chuckle. Like,
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah,
that was messed up.
Yeah, that was messed up.
It's like I'm not gonna laugh at somebody getting mauled by a bear and be like, "You gotta shake your head like she brought it into her yard. It was hilarious." No, that's not funny. That's just like a bad thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody's feeding a bear and you're like, "This is gonna turn out really badly,"
Yeah,
like, we can all see the setup and the punchline.
Mm-hmm.
This lady's feeding a bear in her backyard.
Yeah,
This is gonna be fucked up. Like there's a comedy to that is like dark. And
that is
funny.
dark. Yeah,
but you can still see the comedy in the situation.
yeah, because you see.
That's
what
I mean by
you
find the funny.
Yeah, you can see the borderline absurdness of it. Like, because you'd be like, "Holy shit! I can't believe a fucking bear ate a lady." Like,
yeah,
like even if I say it like that, it just elicited a response, right?
Exactly.
So, my whole biggest thing is that I think and I've corrected this is that when I'm out with
corrected
people,
this in your own behavior,
in my own behavior, yeah. Like when I'd be out, I would say something, like if I see someone wearing something I thought was hilarious or didn't like, or I saw someone acting in a certain way that I didn't approve of, I would say something with someone, right? I'd say it loud,
yeah.
And there'd be points where people would say, like,
"Dick move, man,"
like keep it down, right? Or like it goes, "Oh man, like you're not like you're a hater, but I can't believe you just said that," or whatever, right? And so I'll be like, I'm like that's just an initial reaction. I'm like, because I just like to make. I'm like, so did you see the comedy in that?
Yeah.
And
Were you watching a lot of Curb Your Enthusiasm at this point?
I think it's more stand up than anything.
Because I will say this about myself.
I think
when you say you corrected it. Oh, go ahead. What's that?
I was gonna say like I think it just comes out of like how much I love stand up.
Could be.
And so so I just maybe like say like I just like to make people laugh. But then I'm like, okay, who am I to say anything? Mm-hmm. And so I'll be like, I don't do it anymore. And so
that's fine.
Yeah, I just don't.
I mean, that's nice that you're seeing how that might make somebody feel.
Exactly. So I'm like who am I to say anything? I'm like,
exactly.
So like I just learned how to take myself out of the equation. Like, get over yourself.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So
whereas like for what I notice is like I've mentioned it here a few times that maybe 7-8 years ago, I was doing a little bit of writing for some people, and I was getting, and this comes back to something I mentioned last time too, where like you have to watch things you hate to like keep yourself sharp.
Yeah.
Because then you appreciate things that are good even more. So I noticed that when I was writing for comedy for people who were like I was adding to bits that were really cynical or sarcastic or like more aggressive, that would make me more aggressive because I was in that headspace a lot.
Yeah.
That's why I said, were you watching Curb? Because like I know that's a big thing. Like you enjoy watching that show. And Larry David is he's very like acerbic.
Yeah.
Like, he can see something be like, that's a stupid shirt and you should be ashamed for wearing that shirt.
Yeah. I would never go that far.
Yeah.
But I would just be like, yeah, but he does it straight to their face where I would say it loud.
Yeah.
Near them.
And hope they heard it.
Yeah, I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Like, and so, or whatever it is,
but
right?
There's some people who have it coming too.
Yeah, like
there are definitely people who have it
but
coming.
in my mind, I'd be like, they deserve it.
And even if they didn't.
Yeah, even if they didn't.
Yeah. Which is not entirely nice. Which is not a kind thing
Absolutely.
to do, right?
And that's when I took, like, I did kind of an audit, and I'd be like, you know, like, why do I do that?
Why did I do that?
I'm like you don't come off very well. And so I'm like, even though people would be laughing, they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, that was hilarious." I'm like, no, I'm like, that was it though? I look back now and I'll be like, man, you know what? No more. Can't do that anymore.
That's the end of that.
That's the end of that, man. That was. I guess if you want to call it the Larry David thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, it is hard because like it is one of those things where you find yourself maybe like just being a little bit too acerbic, like being a little bit too hard on people just for the sake of a laugh.
But I'll say this though, that's on people I don't know. That's just me in public, like doing whatever, right? Like
I think maybe that's worse. I think it's like we jab back and forth every now and then for the sake of a laugh. I know me and Doug do it a lot.
Yeah, but I won't. I will never say like what kind of fucking shirt are you wearing? Like why do you wear that Atari shirt all the time? Whatever it is. Like,
I love my Atari shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
I wear it a lot.
But then you can go like, why do you wear this gray hoodie all the time? Right?
Every episode.
Yeah. So like,
it's your style. But there's a jokey way to do it.
Yeah.
That is more like Gray again, huh?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
There's a way to do it with your friends.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, maybe not to.
But for coworkers,
rando.
yeah. But for people who I don't really care about, I still kind of do it.
Yeah.
Like if you're like coworkers and stuff like that, yeah, I drop the ball on them. Like I'd be like, yeah, because like, I have to spend time with you that I don't want to. So like, you know what? We have to like come to a consensus here. Like, you know, of who's gonna like.
You're gonna eat the shit because I'm stuck in a room with you.
Yeah.
I gotta feed somebody some shit.
but also it has to go both ways. I'm like, you know what? If I'm doing something that's out of line, then like I have to be corrected. So.
There is like a Seinfeldian way about it, right? There's a way to kind of jab at your buddies, and they jab back at you. That is completely mutual and understood.
Yeah,
there are lines that you don't cross, obviously. Like you're not gonna talk about having sex with somebody's mother, but at the same time, you're gonna make jokes. Like you can make mama jokes. You can have like a certain type of
there has to be a little bit of ball busting.
Has to be. There has to be,
yeah,
because that's just like how people interact. Like that's how friends interact with each other.
Yeah, exactly. Because like you should be able to talk to your friends like that without not in the sense of like it's personal.
No, it's never personal.
It can't be personal, but like you have to be able to like correct people. And so I guess the closer you are to people, I guess you can only really lay into people if you're really close with them.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, I mean,
because why would you want to lay into
close
someone?
Enough.
Why would you want to lay into someone you don't know? Because then that's just going to start a fight.
Well, maybe they're a jerk.
Exactly.
Maybe you have to. Maybe you have to correct behavior on that side.
Well, no, I'm saying like let's say if you work with them.
Yeah, I get it. Well, I see what you mean. Like there has to be some sort of mutual appreciation of each other's company.
Yeah, so
like a closeness formed because we're both in this crap together.
Yeah,
let's just be buddies.
Yeah, because like if you're really exactly, because if you're really close with someone and then if you have to lay into them, that means then they'll know why are you saying that to them, because it was, where is it coming from? It's coming from like I want you to be better.
It's a place of love.
Yeah, exactly. And I would hope that you would say that to me if I'm out of line,
or even just the like I used to be not a ball buster. But I was like, whenever I worked anywhere with a group of people who I got along with in large groups, like bars mostly, obviously, because that's where I would do big groups of coworkers. I would always do little ball busting, like just for fun. Nothing major, nothing huge, but things like, gray shirt again, huh? But then people who take it in a way, it's like, that guy's always fucking on me, man. Like, he's always on my ass.
Yeah.
If it never went to that point, but always went to like, he's always shooting shit at me, right? Yeah. And then somebody else would always be like, yeah, well, that's because he likes you.
Yeah, exactly.
He thinks you're worth the time to shoot things at, so shoot back at him. And those are the ones who stuck it out. And those are the ones who come here. Like, you just met a buddy of mine who we did an email back and forth with. And that's how that relationship started. Yeah. He's going to come here. I don't know if he's going to use his real name, so I'm going to throw it out there. But that particular friend, I locked in a closet one time. And another friend had to tell him, it's like, you know that time when he locked you in the closet? I didn't really lock him in the closet. I just left him. Yeah. He was going to do this whole prank, and he was going to show me how the prank worked. And I ended up shutting the door and walking away, and he had to find his way in a dark room back to a door, which ended up being a prank. And at first he was offended by it. But the offense, like the reason it was explained to him was like, well, he actually thinks of you as like a bro, like a buddy. You're like a little brother of ours. That's why he did that. If he didn't like you, he'd have just nodded his head and been like, oh yeah, real good, chum, later. Yeah. I would have walked away. But I enjoyed this kid's company so much that I had to bust his balls a little bit, so I locked him in a room. I turned the lights off and shut the door. And
that's your.
That's what you do to your little brother.
That's your introductory course.
That's what it is, right?
To his friendship.
Like I would take a punch in the face for that kid, and I have over and over again. The kid, like I would say, he's more adult than both of us put together now. But back then, that's what I would do. If I didn't give a shit about him, I would never go as far as to like chuckle at doing that. I would just listen to the little joke he wanted to tell me, listen to the prank he'd planned, and walked away. But instead, I'm like, I'm gonna turn this prank into a super prank. Yeah, I'm gonna prank his prank. So he walked into a room to try to show me how he's gonna jump out and scare this one coworker of ours.
And you locked him in there.
He went pretty far back, and he's like, "All right, shut the door and let me see if the light still comes through, and if I can see your shadow. And when I see your shadow, I'll come running to the door and open it up, and then I'll jump out and yell boo." I was like, "Yeah, great idea." So he goes back in this like utility closet that's got to be, I don't know, like 10 feet, maybe 12 feet deep. So I closed that door. I turned the lights off where I was. And I walked away. I pulled my flashlight out and I walked away.
Yeah.
He found me about an hour later. He was like, I hate you, right? I'm like, yeah, I sure do. Love you, buddy.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I just think there's a, I think there's a line you don't cross.
Yeah.
But,
there's a belligerence line.
There's a belligerence line, right? Yeah. But then like you, it's all coming back to me about how, just doing it in public and just giving myself carte blanche to like just insult or just make fun of people, like just like whatever, right? And just like whatever I just disapproved of.
Do you want to be that guy?
No, I don't. Yeah. I hated that part of me, and so I just cut it. I'm like, I don't do it anymore.
That's very introspective. That's very good on you to go back and actually like do that self audit and think to yourself, maybe I don't want to be this guy.
Because like I got laughs from it when I was with people, but at the same time, it's like I'm like, what am I like? like I'm like this is such a mean thing to do. So I just cut it.
That's what it is, right? It's just a mean spirited. But then again, it doesn't come from a place where you're attempting to be mean spirited.
No,
if that person,
yeah, exactly. That person fell over, I would do CPR on them, obviously, right? But like,
obviously,
I just didn't like that aspect of my life, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it makes no sense. So I just stopped doing it. Yeah,
it's very adult of you. That's very grown up of you.
That is definitely one way to say it.
That's very adult of you. And it's extremely adult of you to figure out. Oh yeah, I gotta not do that anymore.
I have to stop hurting people's feelings in public.
I hurt people.
Yeah.
Just sitting in a room by yourself.
So whoever enjoyed those laughs, sadly those days are over.
Listening to Johnny Cash. I think that's it, buddy. I was gonna make fun of The Masked Singer and how like every time because I watch a lot of junk food TV, so The Masked Singer is part of that now.
I don't know what that is. What is that? The
Masked Singer, where they got like all the four. It's like Jenny McCarthy, that trash bag anti-vaxxer, and Dr. Ken Jeong from Community and shit like that.
Yeah.
Robin Thicke. They all sit around a desk, and then you get these people in masks and full costumes sing, and they're all like moderate celebrities, and then they have to guess who the celebrity is. Yeah, and they're all like,
really?
The first season they were awful. Like they were just the worst. And then Jenny McCarthy be like, I think that's Brad Pitt because he sang that one song in that movie one time. I'm like, it's never Brad Pitt, you dipshit. Like it's never gonna be Brad Pitt. The Lion and the crown and the purple cape dancing on stage singing La Vida Loca. It's not Brad Pitt, stupid. That's what they would do, right?
This got a second season?
They got a second season. And this season, they're all actually really good. Like all the singers, like I'm pretty sure one of them is Jessica Simpson. I think she's actually in that because they did a Chicken of the Sea joke. It's ridiculously stupid. Like it's one of the dumbest shows on TV, but it's actually kind of entertaining. But this year, they're all actually good. So when they're saying things like, "Do you think it's Pharrell?" I'm like, it might be because that guy can actually rap. So it's pretty entertaining.
Sorry, no, I've never heard of this show.
Yeah, it's only been on 2 years. It was on last year. I think it's only been 2 years. And then this year. And it's got a sequel series as well. This year, a spinoff.
The spinoff?
Yeah, Ken Jeong's got his own version of it where they have to like guess whether or not somebody has a decent voice before they see them sing.
Oh yeah, I've seen the commercial for that.
Yeah. Like
it's on CTV, right?
Yeah, something like that. I think CTV.
Yeah.
CTV, one of those local Canadian.
So I've heard of the spinoff. I've never heard of the Masked.
The Masked Singer is there? It's like a legitimate like Scott Baio level celebrity.
Oh,
well, it used to be, right? They were all like Scott Baios. But this year, it seems the first episode this year, they had a guy in the mask who wasn't great, and they brought him out to be like, "Hey, come do your song," and he's like, "I can't do this anymore." He takes his helmet off, and it's friggin' Mickey Rourke. It's Mickey Rourke in a turtle costume or some shit. And he's like, "It's too hot in here. I'm done." And he takes his helmet off and hits the road.
Holy shit.
So it's entertaining in that it's junk food TV. Like it's complete junk food TV. I just thought it's funny how like every time you'll get like one of those morons. And poor Ken Jeong, he's got to sit there and like he's a legitimate intelligent comedian, and probably the best thing they got going on this show. And he's got to sit there and listen to him like talk, and they'll guess.
Well, he's getting paid.
Yeah, right. He's getting paid, but one of them will say, "Oh, I think maybe that could be George Clooney under there because he sang in that movie one time."
He should start ripping on people.
He does.
Yeah, that's good.
He tears
if he
people
does that,
up.
that's good.
He's actually pretty entertaining for what he does. But this year I was surprised because like I talk a lot of shit about that show, a lot of shit on our little family chat and stuff. Like I'm bashing it endlessly. And this year I kind of had to eat my words a bit because when the giraffe started singing the Titanic song from Celine Dion and it was legitimately very good, like maybe I'll just back off for a little bit.
Okay, I won't ask for the premise of the show, so I'll do my research on it.
Yeah, take a look. This year has been entertaining in that like you've got idiots and talent, and they're all just doing what they got to do.
This show sounds so stupid.
It's so dumb. It might be one of the dumbest things.
It's honestly like okay, I'm not shitting on it because you like it.
No, but I like it because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
This sounds like this sounds so dumb.
This is like
I don't even know how to say this. I'm like it sounds so
Hunger Games level reality TV.
I swore that's my first swearing actually for this episode.
Hey, yeah, I've tried to tone mine down.
I've toned mine down too. I think
I think I only dropped 3 F-bombs this episode.
I think I didn't. Yeah, there's no.
Well, we're trying to get ourselves back on YouTube, so you got to bring it down a bit. We're going from like.
I feel good.
We're like barely safe for work, but not
Yeah.
at all safe for work.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I think I can't remember the last time I used the F-bomb.
I don't think
I don't think
nailed
I've-
this episode at all.
Not this. I didn't think. I don't think I used it last time either.
So we were talking about recently. I justify dropping them on this episode because this is like where I get them out. This is my toilet. This is
Yeah, 'cause
where,
this
this is where I get all my.
Because normally I don't swear at all.
No, yeah, in the real world, I'm very tame.
I'm very tame.
But the dude at this desk is getting it all out.
Yeah.
Because if I don't do it here, I'm murdering
Yeah,
people out there.
because I have to like accentuate points.
Exactly.
So yeah, like if I want Trump to lose, I want him to like
Say it.
fucking lose.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So
Oh, but no, we've been good. We've been good, and this is the.
We'll
this is-
behave.
We'll behave. This is our first episode back.
yeah.
Hopefully all that sound worked out. I'm pretty sure it all did.
Yeah.
I'm fairly certain all that sound worked out.
Yeah.
But I did a whole bunch of stuff up there. We have the new camera up. We've got the new sound and lighting system up. I think it looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a look over there and tell you how's that feel to you over there.
God damn, I need to go to a tanning salon.
Yeah. Well, you are behind like a black screen. Oh, and then I'm using Rec 107, so it's not exactly. We're not using like that's gonna get worked on. Don't worry about that.
Okay, well,
I'll turn up the brown,
turn up the
the
brown.
sepia tone. I'll crank up the sepia.
Honestly, every single winter, I turn like translucent.
It's like October 1st.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I just like in winter, like I think I could show you my arms like they're pasty white.
I'll tell you, man. Like
Yeah.
September 21, I'm a golden god, and then October 1st, I'm an ashy son of a gun.
Yeah,
Just happened.
yeah, you go from classy to ashy.
Classy to ashy.
Yeah,
Just gotta do that dive in that big Costco-sized vat of
yeah,
olive oil.
Olive oil. Yeah, just I'll come over just like with buckets, come dumping on you.
Like Kramer.
Yeah,
Kramer turn
yeah, I gotta stay juicy.
into a juicy turkey.
Yeah.
Oh, I would imagine that music has been playing for quite some time.
Well, I have nothing else to say, but peace out. And nothing else.